This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Looking back on a past where we still had a chance. We were pawns in a game that we could not win.
I need you. Self. Wait.
Hi.
My mini. Over.
What? Oh, God. Wait, we just lost. We just started. We just started the freaking game, and already we've lost clues. So, guess what? No D&D today. We're just going to watch 3 hours of Zits being popped. How do you
No.
like that?
No, we're not going to do that.
We're going
That
to
is
throw
exactly
in.
not
We're going
what
to
we're
throw
gonna-
in
For sure?
the
No.
removal.
Shut up, Brian.
The removal of ingrown
Brian.
hairs.
You be quiet, because I like you a lot, but you're crossing into a zone where, I'm not.
Listen,
we're not going to be cool.
there is an audience for that.
I don't give a shit. And
That's on YouTube. That's not Twitch.
yeah,
It could be Twitch.
no. This is a market that I refuse to be a part of.
I'm a little scared that if we were to do that, that would be like we'd get more people watching that. than-
no.
So anyway, it's Sunday.
Golden Hills.
Apparently, we're not going to do 3 hours straight of watching people get their zits popped. We are actually going to play Dungeons and
Ew.
Dragons.
Yeah, see, she doesn't like it either.
How did we move from?
We're
black
not.
and gray
Brian's
to
just
zit
being a
popping?
butthole.
Yes, well, that is my job. That is my actually. Well, that's my job description. My job title is Dungeon Master, and I will be our Dungeon Master for today's episode of Team X, an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated. If you're not into the whole brevity thing, we are known as Team Xenagog, but Team X is fine. Team X is fine. The logo, we're still workshopping the logo. We're still trying to figure it out. We had an X-Files like logo by accident. We'll move on to
They didn't
something
like that.
else. It was okay, but it's
Well, no, I mean, weren't they like, hey, change your logo?
someone might have
Kinda.
said it.
Kinda.
So,
Best not to piss him off.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that you pick fights with, and then there's people that you're just like, you know what? No, I think okay. Yeah, we're gonna not do that.
If Fox tends to steamroll people, that's not.
Yes.
that's true. Well, anyway, so we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons instead. That's what we're gonna do, and we are gonna start by introducing today's cast, and we will start where we always start, in the upper left-hand quadrant, quadrant 4, if I remember my
Cartesian plane.
my Cartesian plane. It would be quadrant 4. in the negative, or no, it's positive negative, right? Or negative whatever. Anyway,
it's north of the x-axis, so it's positive, but it's west of the.
so
central
negative.
point. It is negative. So
Yes, but it's
negative
y
X,
before
positive
x, right? Or is it x? I
no,
forget.
it's x always before
x
y.
y. So positive negative. Anyway, we should-
Sorry.
Who else wants to go over basic high school math?
I mean,
Anyone?
listen, I may not have
We'd
been very
never
good at it,
remember
but
this.
I remember
Pythagorean
it.
theorem?
Look. Okay, since it's me, me.
It
in
you.
It is you.
Oh wait, you can't see. So, maybe.
Very nice.
All right, fine. I'll print mine out too.
I know it's not bad. $30.
That's actually
And
not
that's
too
for
bad.
the good plastic. No, yeah, that's for
Is that the good-
and
wait.
there's so many more options now.
Is it plastic?
Oh, and I was gonna say you should order yours because I think they put new stuff in there, and I don't think you have to get like the supersized one anymore because there's like a supersized version of your character.
Ooh.
Ocean stuff.
This is
Anyways.
all saying to me there needs to be a tactical Team X game at some
And
point
Unplugged.
in 2019.
Unplugged.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh well, I mean, listen, if we're all going to be there at the same place at the
Because I'm
same
gonna turn
time.
Rozzy. He's gonna be mechanical. I just have to make him look a little bit more mechanical, and I need to add my lantern. That's the only parts that are missing because they don't have that. But it'll happen. I have work to do on this little one. Okay. Anyways, I'm Clues. I'm playing Jeremiah Gem Weaver, Tinker Gnome, Sorcerer Extraordinaire. Bam. Next.
Oh, that was fast. Hi, I'm Viking Goat, and I'm playing Thing General Trunk. He's a nice guy.
He's friend shaped.
He's
Alright.
Capybara.
He's friend shaped.
It's friend shaped.
If you were to do a hilarious Wile E. Coyote hole in the wall, it would be in the shape of a friend.
It'd be friend-shaped and friend-sized.
Mhm.
There's enough.
Extra large.
There's a.
friend
It's like, so you know when you get the M&Ms now and it says the shareable size.
Fuck
That's-
sharing.
That's the. Well, I'm not going to be sharing my peanut M&Ms, but in
No.
theory, Thunuk is of
Listen,
a
you-
shareable
oh,
size.
You've got $1.
You can
You
have
go
it
buy
all.
your own goddamn peanut M&Ms.
These are mine.
These are my fucking
Mm-mm.
peanut M&Ms.
Uh-uh.
Then it got
Caramel
upsized.
M&Ms. Caramel M&Ms.
I haven't had those yet.
They're fantastic. Make that a priority.
I will try to work that into my caloric budget.
Send me your address and I will ship you some right now.
In the colors of your choosing.
They're so good.
Anyway,
Yes. And going onward.
I am blind cleric. I'm playing human fighter, maybe even human fighter politician, Hugon Valander. Also, just general Grumpasaurus, Hugon Valander,
Grumposaurus Rex.
Grumpasaurus Rex.
If
yeah.
if the political aspirations are upheld.
Yeah, I mean, like for real.
Wait.
Yeah.
Does that mean Hugon has short arms?
No. That's not why he uses the
I have a
halberd.
big head and little arms.
The little arms.
His arms are not tiny. No. As amusing
That's
as that
why
would be.
Hugon doesn't give hugs. Little
The
arms.
reaching pull for killing.
The reaching pole for poking.
This is the reaching stick. What's it do? Well, I kill people with it.
Yeah. Well, I
Really?
bring you in for a lethal hug, is what I do. And moving on. Roz,
You.
introduce
There's no
yourself.
Roz.
Well, he's right there. Why isn't he introducing himself?
I think he's there because you didn't make him go away.
No, he's. I see him right there. He's staring at me,
Listen,
smiling.
Listen, Brian,
Clean shaven.
he's not here.
Oh,
He's
Not
on the
here.
highway somewhere, man.
he's on the highway.
He's on the road.
Yeah,
because
he's
life
driving.
is a highway.
Don't start.
The hell?
Don't start.
Stop
Stop it. Stop.
You did say stairway, so we weren't going to heaven. That's for sure.
Yeah, just. Anyway, so before we get into this week's adventures, misadventures, mishaps, shenanigans, and other assorted descriptors, just a reminder that next week is going to be our first ever giveaway day. Now, for those of you who may or may not have read your Acquisitions Incorporated franchise contract when you signed it, there is some fine print on page 62, subclause C, where it says that it is required by the home office that you be happy franchisees and celebrate that at least once per year. It is corporately mandated that you be happy employees.
I mean,
Crap, he's right.
I'm not gonna
It's
because fuck the man.
damn the man. But we are going to be giving away some cool things next week. The exact mechanics of which we will reveal next week during next week's game. So it would be great for you to invite friends to come and join us on at least one merry adventure. We're gonna have physical books to give away. We've got, like I mentioned before, Shami Stovall has offered up her best-selling book, Nightmare Arcanist, as well as in audiobook format, narrated by this joker right here. So don't hold that against her, okay? We've got another book, The War of Embers, that by James Duval. He'll be giving some stuff away. We've got dice.
We do have dice. Math
Forged by
Shiny
the,
math rock.
forged
I'm excited
by
to try
the
them.
Penny Arcade Artificer,
It's true.
Dragon,
Oh yeah, that me.
otherwise known as
Yeah,
Clues.
that's you, Clues. You're,
Oh yeah, that me. I
and-
do too much stuff.
And who knows? There might be other stuff. I mean, for all we know, if you
I'll
want,
have other stuff.
if you want my used Starbucks cup, I'll sign it and give that to
No.
you. That's fine.
that's
I would
weird. and
offer
gross.
my awesome mug, but no, sorry.
No.
Mine.
Oh God, you don't give that away.
No, it's cool.
No, but you can give away a picture
Oh,
of you
sweet.
holding that mug. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But there'll be things to give away, and we'll be giving away throughout the entire game. So we would love it if you would invite more people to join us. And hey, maybe those new people would like the game as well. But anyway,
Maybe. Maybe not.
maybe not. Well,
Who can say?
they'll like us. Come on. I mean, what's not to like here? I mean, we're pretty awesome. Anyway,
We're so
It's-
lovable.
It's fair.
so at any rate, when we last saw our heroes, they had gotten a little bit of upgrading for the franchise that absolutely bore no relevance to the fact that there was new source material released the week prior. It just so happened that at that exact same time that there was going to be a franchise upgrade. But during the course of them getting their upgrades, Drenmai saw something shiny.
She did.
And when she sees something shiny, what does Drenmai Gemweaver do? She picks it up. And there's one of three things, and it doesn't have to be exclusively one that she does. It could be any combination of 2 or 3 of these things that she does when she finds shiny things. She smells it.
It's entirely possible that Dren is half goblin.
One. I'm curious myself if there's any goblin in my ancestry.
It's
Well, listen,
it's probably in there.
It's in there somewhere.
there's
Like, my
if
thought
you,
is like tinker gnomes are like regular gnomes and goblinoids that have like
you
come
Yeah.
so
together.
what you
in a
need to do
way.
is there's a test you could take in the town of .com where it's called Ancestry, and you can go there and they can actually do some magical
There's like the
chicanery.
D&D version, like 420 and me.
Yeah. yes, there absolutely is. Yes, they're at 23andMe, absolutely in some way, shape, or form.
D20 and me.
420andMe.
It's not 23. It's D20 and
D20andMe. Yes,
D20andMe.
the D20andMe. Yes, there will be something. Well,
Dren needs
and
D20
and
and me.
it's such a scam. Oh, it's such a scam. They're gonna
The
take all your-
government watches it all. It's Big Brother.
um,
They just want your
Straight to
DNA.
Home Office.
But-
Straight to-
of all of these things, she could. So what does Dren do when she sees something shiny? She smells it. She
she
could
puts it in her mouth.
taste it. Yes,
Licks
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Licks it.
Licks it. Some kind of crawl zone activity.
Some kind of mouth zone.
And it gets attempted to be joined with her lantern. Now, whether it always sticks or not is a whole other thing. You know, maybe it's not the correct material. But this particular shiny was of the correct material. And it drew our heroes into some kind of space-time thing. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. Where they
Where
witnessed...
Dren got force powers.
Very temporarily.
where they witnessed, partook in, actually molded, we don't know, the formation of the Chandlewood. Some things happened through a great song where Eno played the symphony of his life.
It's true.
And with
It's true.
with the assisted machinations of Drenmai, Thunuk, and Hugon, Drenmai using her shocking grasp, which is becoming kind of a crutch at this point. That seems to be
I
her
think-
answer for everything.
I
Kid,
feel
don't
as
know what to
if
do?
machinations-
Shock it.
Machinations is kind of a strong word for shouting at some sort
Well,
of.
listen, you played your
beyond-
strengths.
There was going to be another version where my character has moved towards, but that has yet to now be revealed because we ended the game. Winky face.
We
So this is
had
gonna be awful.
Thunuk use. We had everyone use their specials, which was kind of cool during the course of
That
this.
was awesome.
And basically,
Oh wait.
And it
That gave
wasn't
you a
planned
lot of
either.
things.
It was just like, oh, you use your special? I'm going to use my special. Oh, you both use
Well,
I'm
Actually,
gonna
I
use
felt
mine.
left out, and I was like, I want to use my
I
special.
want to use mine too.
I want
I
to.
want to feel
Play.
special.
And next thing you know, we're doing Oklahoma. Was it Oklahoma? Yeah. And everything you can do, I can do better.
Everything I can do, you can do too. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. But yes, specials were used, and you will notice beneath me, along the bottom here, we have these dark D6s, because that's what happens when
Oh,
they use
shit,
their
you have
special.
so many.
Yeah,
I
'cause
he
have
keeps
a
banking 'em.
few. But it's okay.
Oh my god.
No,
It's
it's
okay.
not okay.
It's
It's
okay.
the opposite of
No,
okay.
that's actually scary. We're gonna die.
But at any rate, which we not again, was it a case of where the legend, the folklore surrounding the creation of the Chandlewood was created by the team? Is it just they were seeing it in their own particular perspective, and this is how it manifested? We don't know. But we did see the creation of the Chandlewood, which Hugon then committed to memory with an excellent roll.
I did. I rolled a natural 20 on
and-
that intelligence check to like It learned.
and just scanned it, and just basically his eyes acted like a optical scanner, and he has
He
embraced its,
auto-catted it internally.
yes, it's now a part of like his photonic self. And then there was another little bit of time stuff happening where they found themselves at a battle at something that Drenmai had recognized as that occurred during the War of Demonfell, outside of Pinedale, where the founder, or the son of the founder of Pinedale, was engaged in ambushing all sorts of bad creatures that were roaming the Chandlewood that they apparently were at war with, wherein they also saw Marcus Philander,
Yeah.
sans mask,
Got
doing
the mask.
doing apparently good work, where he took out a very large knoll,
With help.
with help with Hugon going kind of Super Saiyan in his mask a little bit. Dogs barked,
Poppers!
things happened, and then that's where we ended the episode. So, you this bright white flash has taken you out of the scene that you found yourself in, this night that occurred approximately 200 years at some point in the past, near the beginning of the founding of Pinedale. And as the light and that high-pitched whine begin to recede, you find yourself back in the second level, which is basically basement 2, right? Because if you look on an elevator, right, it's like you have basement B1, and then B2 is always the lower level. So this is kind of like B2.
So we're in the haunted one.
The sub-basement.
the sub basement. Yeah.
The sub.
If this was Resident Evil, we'd need like 8 keys and 14 hours to get here.
Exactly. And everything goes wrong there.
Everything, awfulness. It
It's
is
musty and moldy smelling.
it is the Chrysler Building of
Gross.
Makes
Parasite
you wonder,
Eve.
like, who the
It is-
hell designed this house? Why does it
Exactly.
need 14 different types of keys?
Clearly, there was some issue with sourcing the locks here. They
The Umbrella Corporation just needs to get a new architect. That's all I'm saying.
well, they just need to source everything from the same place.
Why is this key shaped like an eagle? Because
Just cuz.
you're fired.
But you find yourself back in your headquarters. Eno, you see, immediately droops and just looks incredibly exhausted, and mumbles something, and kind of stumbles up the steps to find a place. He mumbles something about needing a nap. Clearly, this
He
performance.
did sing a lot.
He
was a
did.
lot.
He did a very
He
cool
belted
thing.
his little heart out.
Yeah, it was like harmonizing with echoes, and he used his thaumaturgy to have like different speakers elsewhere. So this was very like very Disney Imagineer level sound design. You know,
True.
like very cutting
True.
edge. But it takes a lot out of a guy. You know, the whole creative of being a sound right, of forging this sound together in the way that he did, took a lot out of him. So he mumbles about needing a place, and it's kind of like that way, you know, when you find that person who's just exhausted and you can barely string 2 words together, where it's just like you might as well be drunk. You're so tired. It's just I'm sleep tired. And
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
it's like
Sleep now.
incapable of anything beyond the absolute most basic of communication. Go there, sleep, and he might already be asleep as he's walking. You're not even sure. And as he's walking up, Stephen, your major domo, comes walking back down the steps, and he says, and he looks and he says, "Is Eno all right?"
Probably.
Well, no matter. I have just returned from my brother's place of business, and
Oh, good. How did that go?
it went well. It went as well as could be expected. He is amenable to the loophole that you have found.
I'm glad to hear that.
He is going to do his best to sell that to his own head office. As you know, sometimes the corporate leaders can have opinions
Yeah.
about these things, but he's going to do his level best to try to work out some kind of arrangement that would benefit all parties.
That would be ideal, I
Yes.
think, for everyone.
And if I remember, we had left things at kind of like first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I have no idea what time it is
Yeah.
anymore, given that we keep time traveling.
Mm-hmm.
And he says,
Because that's Drenmai's fault.
listen, things happen.
Saying.
And, and he says, well, I do believe, Mr. Verlander, that you had a meeting scheduled with Captain Chase in the training yard, if I do remember correctly. Did you not? I believe you had training. Was it training you had scheduled?
Probable, yeah. I mean,
Well,
also, there's the whole, I need to speak with the town administration.
yes, they are planning on having a meeting later this morning.
Oh, good.
Yes. So it would appear that unless you have anything you need of me at the moment, that you have essentially all have free time, I guess, is if that's a thing that ever happens.
Yes.
That's an
I
unusual.
don't think we're necessarily doing anything because we don't really know. Well, maybe I know.
After
when
my
we are.
meeting with the administration, I imagine there's going to be a lot for us to do.
I would only imagine so.
True.
Did we get the paperwork squared away about with head office about political involvement? I know that I have tacit permission, but I need to see we need to make sure that the forms are right.
Yes, we are still waiting on a response from the. Being at the combination that we're seeing here, we need to we're asking our head documenter and head secretarian to review all the paperwork to make sure that all T's are crossed, all I's uttered, all vowels umlauted where appropriate.
Sure.
You know.
And it's very important that this be 100%.
Oh yes, we need to make sure that we've covered all of the bases.
All right. Well, I'm going to go see Captain Case and Stephen. If there's anything that happens, you know how to get a hold of us.
Indubitably.
We will meet back up once I have something to talk about. I guess.
Excellent. I will continue then preparing all of the paperwork for the internship program.
That would be good.
That you have induced.
Yes, that's good.
Is there anything that the rest of you need of me for the moment?
Well, I was gonna look at Hugo and be like, "You want us to come?"
Not yet. What I think would be really nice is if you could go take a look at Lord Zedram Kai's mansion and just see if
Okay.
there's anybody there. Don't go inside and don't burn the building down. Don't don't do anything. Just
Don't leave
look.
piles of flaming poop.
No, don't do that. Just
Yet.
look.
Okay.
And then when we meet back here later, we can talk about it.
Huh. Okay. Interesting idea. And like Dren's gonna kind of scrunch up a little bit, like trying to
What I
remember,
want.
was he alive back then?
Zedram Kai?
But then like, okay, yeah,
Oh, you still think we're in the past?
yeah. She totally thinks
Oh.
like we're still in the past kind of thing. Like,
Ah.
because I if I remember right, I rolled really bad on my perception. So
You
as far as
rolled
I know, we're still in the
Piss
past.
poor.
Yeah.
You did not roll
So I'm
well.
just like, I'm probably muttering like, when was that guy?
How the fuck
when
did
was
Steven
Zedram
get back
born?
this
I'm trying
far?
to remember. Why? Yeah. Why is Stephen here? Okay. I mean, I don't know, like if the buildings were quite there yet, or you know, I don't think Zedram Kai he's a human though. They don't really live that long, do they? But sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, before he leaves, Hugon turns around and goes, "Seriously, don't burn it down yet."
Yet.
Just wait until we talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think it exists yet, so that's not a problem. Okay, Hugon.
Okay. And then away he
Gotten
goes.
off. Yeah.
So Hugon's off to go to the training yard.
Mhm.
Drenmai scampers off.
Yeah.
Because I
I'll
just
go
I
to
just I just
where
have it in my head. It's just every time anywhere Drenmai goes anywhere, it's a scampering. It's a
Well, I kind of have to because I'm small.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a skip. It's like a skippy, bouncy thing to try and keep up with everyone that's taller than me.
But then there's just like there's all of that potential energy, right? That's being actualized and
There's
it needs
a
to go
lot of energy.
and it needs to go somewhere. So it's always
Mhm.
there's never walking anywhere.
Mhm.
No, there's no walking. Walking does not exist in Dren's world.
It's all like Muppet movement, like
Yeah. It's either going or riding on Thanuk.
It's true.
I just started envisioning Drenmai as basically a gnomish gummy bear, just bouncing everywhere.
Pretty much. There's lots of bouncing.
Uh,
I mean, you got to figure like the weight to gravity ratio. There's not a lot of friction holding her down, so it's just ding 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 ding.
I don't know
Right,
if
and
that's how
she's
physics works.
got that ridiculous strength, so it's like moonwalk, like bouncing around in the moon for her.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
You know,
mass
eventually,
to her.
like she's gonna end up with like those like spring boots.
oh, jeez. Moon
Moon
boots.
Literally
boots,
just-
moon boots.
Yeah, just
The
like
little mini trampolines. Boing, 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 boing. Yeah, pretty much.
Until she designs them.
Weren't those things?
Until I design them.
All right, so off to Captain Case to see what the hell
Okay.
he wants.
Thunuk, what is Thunuk's plan for?
He's super sleepy, but last thing he remembers when he was here is before the whole time travel and all that was if he feeds the map into the map machine, he has map and a map machine with maps. It's like, this is really neat.
Yes.
I want to play with his new toy.
Just starts feeding in all kinds of paper into it.
Whenever
Like, this
he-
looks like a map. Sure.
He's going to take like any sort of scrap of paper and start drawing maps on it that he sort of remembers as being accurate. But I mean, this is Thunuk we're talking about here. This could just as easily have been like his idea of how a map should work.
Oh, let's play this game. All right. So what would one of the maps be?
It would be a series of drawings of trees with a special, especially taking into account like specific nooks and crannies as to where certain like caches of nuts are hidden, based upon what he was told some while ago by a squirrel.
Index.
Yeah, by a squirrel.
Would there be like, this is where the really good nuts are? Here's like a bush of really good berries.
There be
Nuts are
that
awful,
too.
Stay away from it. This squirrel's an asshole.
That's where that jerk squirrel
Yeah,
is that always yells
that
at me.
that's Jake the squirrel. He lies about where he puts everything.
and
Also, there's an owl who's been like hunting the squirrels, and like so like there's this dead zone.
oh yeah, he'd hash out a zone for like owl territory. This particular owl, and he'd also probably like excellent napping spot right here. In the tree. During
Super
this
cool
time of
rock
day.
with moss.
Super cool rock with moss that would be on there as well. And then there'd be the one where it's like patch of moss on side a tree that looks like
Mom.
mom or something like that, or
Log shaped like duck.
log shaped like duck.
Duck shaped
I
like
like
log.
Okay.
And of course, spiders here with yummy,
Visit later.
Harvest.
tasty spiders. Smiley
So it
face.
sounds like we've got a skill challenge on our hands.
We do have a skill
It's
challenge. on our hands.
100% a skill challenge.
Yes. So,
So I guess it's time for Thanuk to start rolling survival.
yes, he needs to start rolling some survival checks here.
Let's see how horribly
So
this goes.
check
Does he
number
get
one.
advantage because of the map table.
Does he get what?
advantage because of the map?
No, because he's making these maps to feed into the map.
Oh,
table.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So the first step, I think. So let's see. What would the steps be here for you to have success with this? It would have to be that first thing he needs to do is like draw the general area. Right.
Here's the thing, though. In his mind, it's obvious where the general area is because that tree
Mm-hmm.
that's where that tree is. You
Mhm.
should know by looking at this map where like the general area of
So
this is.
really, it would be, I think, then pathing. Like he knows where he is, and he knows
Yes.
where the tree is. It's
Mhm.
finding the path.
So it's
between-
basically you're drawing like the treasure map version
Yes,
with like
It's-
the dotted line and like the X's.
100% an 8-year-old's treasure map.
Okay.
with 0 legend and 0 scale.
Precisely.
What the
Oh,
fuck is
it
this? Oh, it's
has
my
to
map.
be.
Well, it
It
doesn't say
has
anything.
to be out of proportion.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very much out of proportion. Like
The
the
trees
best
are
stuff
like the
is
size
huge.
of mountains.
The stuff he really doesn't care about is like small, and the best stuff is huge. And
Well, it's
And-
because it's based on how important these things are.
oh yeah,
Also, it's like you get there a lot faster because your steps are bigger. So it's like 1 hour, and really it's like 3.5.
oh yeah, pretty much.
But then sometimes like sometimes he might have gotten distracted along the way. So
Mhm.
where it was a 3-hour trip. It really was a 1-hour trip, but there was like the conversation he had with that duck.
There was a very interesting beetle.
Yeah, there was the
Yeah.
beetle that had some
There was a
stories to
bug
tell.
report that needed filling out.
A bug report. Oh, yeah, a bug report. He followed a hummingbird for a little bit. You know, he took a nap that he thought was 20 minutes. Turns out it was closer to an hour.
Or maybe a few days even. He
Hibernated.
woke up and he's got like leaves on him. He's like, oh, whatever.
Spent about an hour and a half trying to risk a bee excursion through a beehive. Do I
Alright,
want that honey
so-
really badly?
So I
Oh,
think
and then of course, rough terrain for you maybe. For him, it's just a slight
it's
elevation.
just terrain. Okay, so I think the first one is to determine is there some way to accurately how good is he at putting the scale into this, right? That the map that your map table might be able to understand it.
At best, I think he's basically going to make each little mark, like the path that you walk,
Mm-hmm.
is going in his mind is like either X amount of steps or X amount of minutes worth of walking.
Okay.
But
Um,
again, how accurate is his method of figuring that stuff out?
Okay. Well, let's get our first survival check on this then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna set ourselves here.
19 total.
Oh well, you know what?
19?
I'm gonna say that passes.
He gets a +4.
Um,
I do sort of feel like this might be a contested role with the machine because the machine might not be smart enough to understand what he is doing.
Right.
So, did he successfully
that.
instruct the machine?
we're gonna find out. So you rolled a 19.
Mhm.
So would this be? Does the machine need to just hit the same DC, or does the machine need to meet or beat that
I think
roll?
it's a meter beat scenario,
Okay.
and the machine lacks the skill component that Thunuk has.
Well,
it
it
just
only
has
has
an
one
intelli-
skill component.
Right. It knows its instructions, and that's it. So I think this would be an intelligence roll for the machine.
Okay.
So it would have to meet or beat 19.
Well, the first thing we need to do is decide what the intelligence of the machine is, right?
Just like roll 2d6.
We're gonna roll. We're gonna do a
It's
46,
at least 3.
and we're gonna take. Oh shit. So I just rolled. If we drop the lowest one, I just rolled an 18. So the machine's intelligence is 18, which actually 18,
18.
and an 18 is a
Whoa,
plus
count.
4.
It's always
four.
been a
Or
Okay. Oh, I know it's always been up. I just don't remember the freaking demarcation.
Listen, memorize the ability chart.
There's too much. There's just too much.
No,
to
there
memorize.
isn't. Be a better player.
Wow.
I call it like I see it.
Whale
Jesus.
biologist.
Called out.
Which one of these dark dice should I use first?
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
about to say, I've got all these D6s. So
Look at all
right
these
here.
What if I roll them all at once? No.
I mean,
You gone
there's
dies.
7 there, so You're looking at probably about a 26 to your roll.
All right, so we have a +4. We need to see if the machine can meet or beat a 19 to understand what Thunuk has put on his map. And 14 + 4 is an 18.
So, because it failed to beat it, does that mean it has to obey Thunuk?
No, I think it has difficulty parsing. So I think with an 18, it's able to understand what data points are on there, but it's like whenever you've tried to see, like, if you've ever filled out like an application online with LinkedIn and it says, "Oh, use LinkedIn," and it goes to parse the data, but for some reason, like your job title shows up in like the description, and
Yeah.
This is really funny because the better that Thunuk does on his map, the harder it is the machine to figure
it's
this
because
out.
it's basically he put together, like Thunuk is putting together a really awesome looking resume, but the parser can't quite pick up all of the little
There's like some
intricacies.
HTML coding errors.
Yeah, it's like if a human were just to look at this, they'd be like, "Yeah, I understand perfectly what's going on here." But as soon as you try to get a machine to do it, the parsing doesn't quite work. So you feed the first paper in there, and it gets, it's the thing where it gets in and you feel like the tension, it sucks it in, and you hear something that sounds akin to like a chewing sound as it's crunching the data, and
Like crunching the data. Crunch, 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 crunch.
and,
Masticating the information.
and
Oh man.
and the and as you start to see these little things start popping up on the map, but they're not quite where they're supposed to be. Like some of the points are appearing like above the map, like not where they're supposed to be.
What the fuck is that doing there?
So yeah, it's like interesting rock, but the rock is like when you have like the coding error, like in a new game, where it's like, why is that rock sitting in the middle of the air? Well, it's like that's kind of what's going on there. Some of the locations you can tell aren't quite right from what you said.
There's a giant beetle roaming the countryside.
there's this large beetle just sort of moving around the countryside, and it's like kind of no, that beetle wasn't that big. So you need to make so it gets done crunching the data, and then it spits out the map again. It's a little moist, but now you have to make corrections to your data points.
Is that done on the map itself, or is that done on with a tool,
As
stylus? Or are we going full on like Minority Report and like?
How cool would that? Oh my god, that's like something I could tinker later. Fanuc has like the most badass technological map on the planet, and it's like
And only he knows how to use it.
and only he knows how to use it, but it's like tree, and it looks like a big broccoli piece.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a combination. I think it's going to be a combination of like Minority Port interface, and you can see on the side there is like a little stylus port. So I think it's going to be a combination. I think it's going to be a combination of those interfaces. It's a very interesting GUI that you have going on right here.
Very.
So I think, you gotta. How would you like to interact? How would you like to interface with this?
At first, Thunuk is basically going to interface with it by saying, "No, that's not where it is. It's just not. That's too big. That's too small, and that should not be in the air. Are you understanding what I'm saying?" And he basically is talking into the hole that he put the paper in it at one point, and then he's like, "Hello, you read the map wrong."
So we're having like a Star Trek 4 moment here.
Yes.
And picks up the map.
Computer, what the hell?
Computer. Hello, computer.
Hello, computer.
Sit there tapping.
Oh,
Hello.
keyboard. How
Hello.
a keyboard. How quaint.
What?
What did you just do? Oh, I created transparent aluminum.
How do you
What
know he
the
didn't
hell,
invent the bloody
Scotty?
thing?
You know, like everybody, like he's just like sitting there blithely violating the Prime Directive, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?"
By the
No,
way,
just
I
synthesized
really think
transparent aluminum.
I think there's an opportunity for this to be an actual tabletop game where you have to properly interface where all the best, acorn stashes and cool rocks are in a forest as you build out what the forest looks like. I just feel like there's like some kind of
Oh, I would pay $10 for this on Steam, easy.
Oh, I mean, like this sounds like some Kingmaker kind of stuff.
It's just like Journey, but like instead of walking, I'm like, I put this here and that goes there, and
all right, we're gonna discuss this later because I really think that
Compile.
in addition to the
Compile.
They're saying Eat Drink Roll pub game that we were talking about,
Compile.
in addition to the Eat Drink Roll pub game, I think this is something we need to workshop because I like the idea.
100%.
But anyways,
Mhm.
back to this. So Thunic is talking to the table. Nothing is happening.
He looks up and looks for Stephen, and he's probably not there anymore. He went with-
Stephen is is in the corner, and he's you can see he's filing some paperwork. He has like his own like little like desk in the corner, where he's like he's basically where he keeps off his papers and keeps his very
It's his
important
space.
things. Yeah.
Sub Basement 1 is Stefan's domain.
Yes. Well, it is the franchise domain, but that's where he keeps his particular.
That's where we keep our Stefans.
Yeah, that's where you keep your Stefan.
I
little-
think your Stephens
No, Stephen,
close.
not Stefan.
Stephens. That's where we keep our
Stephen.
Stephens.
Stephen.
He's got a little corner where he's piled
It's like
up
some
with stuff to
newspaper.
sleep in.
In a crate.
A water bottle.
Yeah, you got to make sure he's got the
Water
little
bowl.
water bottle with like a wheel and.
Mhm. That's how we power everything. He runs on the wheel.
Well, he's got. So what it is? Know what it is? He's got the standing desk with a treadmill, so that way he can get his steps in.
Oh man, he would be. That would be an Acquisitions Incorporated employee. That's what he would do.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know what's happening is it's not just that he's getting his steps in. You know, in some way, shape, or form, that treadmill is like capturing jewels. It is.
Oh,
Mhm.
100%.
Somehow.
It is.
No,
It
no,
is.
it's powering my shop.
It is generating some kind of like friction generated arcana. It's like
It's fueling something
it's
somewhere.
some kind of arcane magnetotron of some kind.
Some sort. Yeah. There's a current of some kind involved.
Don't know where it goes.
There's too much copper on it. It's just entirely made of copper.
It's very steampunk in its
Because-
design.
It is.
He's gonna basically like be a little bit huffy and go over to Stephen, and he's basically like, I don't think it's working. Maybe it is not smart because I gave it a map and it doesn't understand my map. And it's a very good map. It has very good stuff on it, important stuff.
And Stephen, without breaking stride on his standing desk treadmill, may I see the map?
It is a little soggy, but here you go.
And he like
He's not even holding it like a map. He's like,
How the hell did
like
it
a
get
used
stuck?
tissue.
Ugh.
And he's like,
Ugh.
yes, Thodak, this is a very good map. You did a very good job. I'm
I know,
guessing.
thank you.
Did you try using the stylus to make the adjustments?
You can make adjustments?
Oh, of course.
Ooh, okay. No, I didn't try that.
And he hops down off his treadmill and he grabs, and so the stylus port is like right next to where you feed the map in, right? There's like a little round part and it's like where you have to like push it in and it clicks and it comes out a little bit. So that way you can like take the stylus out. It's got a very satisfying little, and then if you want to push back in, it's like,
The little
Click.
click.
yeah, it
Click.
stays in and click pops out and take it out. And he takes it out and you can see now as he starts moving the stylus over the map, you can see as you can see like where it's highlighting where it is, what it's interacting with.
Does it act like one of those like little magnet pins on those little like magnetic etch-a-sketch things?
Oh, those
Like
things.
you put it on and
Um,
drag the
It
magnet.
might have. You could see because as he does, he's able to twist the pen to get different modes out of it. So there is one where he twists it and it does kind of like where it's able to move things kind of like the magnetic mustache guy. But there's other ones where it like changes to like different stylus tips. So it's very much like you're using a wireless Cintiq of some kind.
It's like Photoshop, but
That's
magic.
super awesome.
But yeah, so and he guess you may use this to select, and he shows you like how to select things and how to like slide things around and everything, and how to like adjust your views, the different layers. You know, he gives you like a really quick this will be your next skill check. Part of the skill challenge.
Do
here.
you understand?
Yes.
What the
So
hell
he's
just
giving
happened?
you a brief tutorial over how to use basically your Photoshop table. We'll see.
Amazing.
So let us do an intelligence check on this guy.
It was nice knowing you guys.
Good luck. Good luck. Use your good die.
Yes, whatever trash die you had last week. Let's not use that
They
one.
all
Yes.
sucked last week.
Well, maybe
I
it's
know, it was so
Well,
well, hang on.
bad.
Before you, well, did you make them? What did you do to make them learn their lesson? Did you like put them in a toaster oven or show them a toaster oven or a microwave or?
You know, there is a really quick, easy way to weight dice. All you have to do is you put them in the oven, 350 degrees on the one side. You leave it in there for 5 minutes. 20s all the time. Teach your kids how to cheat in D&D.
I mean, it's true.
The 20s every time because it's hot enough that it melts it and it's
Because-
not one facet.
Okay, out of the world fun fact, most of dice are made with plastic mold injection, which means that there's air pockets when they're created because it goes from really, really hot to really, really cold about that quick.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So there's lots and lots of air. So when you melt it, and if you put it on the one side, it takes all those air pockets inside, closes them, melts it all, so it sinks on the one hand side while still creating the structure on the outside. So all the weight is on the one. So when you roll, all the weight is on the one. So you're more likely to roll on the 20 side. You're welcome.
Wow.
I have some shitty dice that I might try that on.
Perhaps I will have done this. Perhaps I will not have.
I'm gonna have a lot of questions when some of
knows?
these dice rolls start coming up in the coming weeks.
On that topic of this was a
Oh, you rolled a
no.
No.
Donna.
So
look, it's standing and going,
so you
And then
understand.
he's like chewing on the pen.
For the podcast
Sonic,
listeners,
don't do that.
Chinook
Don't-
rolled a 1.
Oh. So yeah.
It's kind of a critical point to not do that.
Stephen was kind of like, okay, so you understand exactly, you understand how to make the adjustments on this map then.
the exact same tone that he's been saying during the entire time. Exact same tone again.
Okay. Well, if you need additional help, I'll be over there. And he steps away. So now we need to make some adjustments to this map.
And this is a average person-sized stylus, right?
Yes, it is.
It's like a toothpick.
It's like doing this.
It's about the size of a pencil for a normal person. So for you, it's going to be
Travel pencil, probably. Hey, have you?
yeah, like a miniature golf
golf
pencil.
pencil?
Yeah, miniature golf pencil.
No, I okay. I went. Oh, here it is. I've had this
I
for.
was to say I have a sparkler, so it's like using this little tiny.
This is the smallest pencil I've ever owned. I never use it. And I got this on a trip to Japan. They're like, yeah, so you can write whatever stuff you want. I'm like, too strong.
Giant
Big
hands.
meat hand. Burr, 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 burr.
So now let us make corrections to the map.
He holds it as best as he can, not remembering the fact that he has a stick that holds pens for this particular purpose.
It's been a stressful few minutes.
It's just really we're so lost. And the first thing he wants to fix is the floating rock, because rocks don't float. That's just wrong. And he's like, "Eh."
So let's do. This shall be a dexterity check. First.
I'm not contesting this,
Wait, what is?
but I would
the
love a
dex?
description as to why it's a dex check, because it's hilarious.
Because
I'm expecting something to break.
you've got Thunic. Have you ever tried drawing in Photoshop with a mouse?
Yeah, it sucks.
That's all I use.
Yes, it's terrible.
That's why it's a dex check, because it's like you
Ugh.
try to do it. It's like you think you're getting a certain
Oh.
like no yeah.
What the hell?
Your
Yeah.
circle looks like a really fucked up polygon.
Because you don't have the smoothing. Because if you turn the smoothing up to the right thing, everything.
Please
I'm
tell me
guessing-
you used a different die.
No, we use the same one, and I got an 18, but it's
Okay.
-2, so it's a
Thank
16.
goodness.
That's fine. That's fine. You're able to properly.
Wait, your dex is -2?
Yes.
He's
He's
a big
very
dumb
large.
boy.
I know, but it's so funny.
He's a bull in a china shop most of the time.
You're
He's
able
a big
to
precious dumb-
properly select this rock.
Uh-huh.
You're able to resize it. So because this was not the rock the size of a mountain as the or the rock of the size of a hill, the way that the map has interpreted it. It is, it's a decent sized rock, but you're able to rescale it
Mhm.
to the proper size and able to move it and get it to settle down right where it's supposed to be in the Chondawood. And you're able to do that for a few of the items. So now you have like some of like the really awkwardly scaled items. The beetle now is now the proper size, not Tarask sized. You know,
You have to really zoom in to see it, but it's there.
it's there, yeah. But it has this. But you listen. The zoom function is easy. That's just like a little dial, and you're able to. And sometimes it goes too far. It goes too far, and then you gotta like bring it back out because you like lose where you are, and you're seeing like just like the one eye on the beetle, and you have to like zoom out a little bit more. And okay, yep, that's where I found that beetle.
One minor hair off the mandible. What the heck's that?
I'm just gonna put a happy little hair there on the mandible.
And here we have a happy little tree, and so now we need to make the
Clinic
correction.
would absolutely be the Bob Ross of our world.
He'd be
Almost
very
certainly.
chill.
Mhm.
He'd be very chill.
Everything
Except,
is
he
a
wouldn't
happy
use
little
paint, he'd be
something.
using, like, mud.
And there are no mistakes, only happy accidents.
Except he accidentally ends up scribing some sort of infernal rune and like summoning something from the painting. Like, oh, like,
these
get back in
tentacles
there.
just start pouring out.
no.
That would be kind of awesome.
Hello,
Oops.
new friend.
Hello,
Hey,
new.
It likes me.
It's Florgoplorp again. Welcome, Florgoplorp.
From the greater outer realm. So
I keep it.
following me
No.
home. So now we need to do the final check, which is getting everything where it needs to be, like readjusting the locations of the correct things. So I will let you tell me how you think Thunic would need to address this, knowing what he remembers so far with using the stylus. How do you think Thunic would go about adjusting where everything is located? The things that you can see are definitely not in the right place.
He'd brute force this. He'd not find any smart way to do it, like multiple selection, scale, move the things over there. That's just no. It'd be one at a time. It'd be painstaking, and I don't
He's
think
gonna
it's.
be so mad when he finds the guide and ruler function.
Oh man, yeah. Snap 2.
He's gonna be so angry.
You mean there was an easier way to do this?
Multi-select scaling. Oh my god, that would just he'll be so annoyed.
There's like a plug-in that you could like literally plug in, to the side of the table that will help take care of some of these things.
It's like a cassette of some kind.
Let's make this
Which
an intelligence
absolutely, this table has the ports for plugins. It absolutely has to have that.
Except by plug-in, we're talking about like an etched copper
Something, yeah.
plate full of glyphs that you literally have to hammer into the table.
It's basically like it's a cartridge. It's like a giant Nintendo cartridge, but
Ermac
full of
sized.
freaking symbols.
Yeah, it's like
Doesn't go in. The first doesn't go in right. The first one you have to
it's like 17 inches long by
gotta,
like
like,
9.
blow on
so
it,
it's a
you know?
strange size.
tap on it a few times for it to get to go in correctly.
Since we're going with intelligence, that is a 9.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it was an average roll. It's just he's dumb.
he's not the brightest
These are-
bulb on the tree, but he still
He's our big
shines.
dumb precious boy.
Yeah.
We love our Thunuk regardless.
So I think without, I'm not. So would Thunic rage quit?
No, he wouldn't. That's entirely opposite of Thunic. He can't rage quit. He'd just be like,
Try later.
try. No, he'd keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying and trying until someone either made him quit, or took over for him, or he fell asleep doing it.
Well, we're gonna
And
let.
he has been up for like 24 hours at this point.
Well, we're gonna let Thuna keep trying for a few more minutes, and we're gonna go see what some of the other characters are doing. So the scene is gonna leave Thuna going, oh, oh,
And then he has to hit Control Z a whole bunch of times.
but he doesn't know that there's an undo button.
Oh, man.
right.
Or a history list of things you did, so you can't go back that one perfect spot.
He's on the wrong layer.
Well, there's all sorts of
He
yeah.
doesn't
And
know
he
that
doesn't
there's
know
like
how to merge
Control
them.
Z yet.
Like, yeah, so it's like you're trying to select like the certain things, and you just won't select. It keeps on selecting like the background layer and taking that and moving it. Like, no, that's not right. It's inverting selections. There's like you're painting
should
over
learn a-
things. You're drawing things by
Everything
accident.
flips 90 degrees.
He accidentally learns about the lock layer ability, and he's like, "Why won't this change?"
Yeah, exactly. There's a layer that's locked that he didn't know is locked. He's actually like he accidentally put two things in the same layer, and he doesn't understand why when he moves one acorn stash that the other acorn stash moves at the same
Two.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Drenmai, you have scampered off
Mhm.
to do an investigation of
Mhm.
Lord Zedram Kai's mansion.
Yeah, in the non-existent past realm that I think he's in right now, or that we're in right now.
Yes, in the who knows what time Drenmai thinks she's in realm right now.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we're in the past, and in my mind, we're in the past. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll go look at that probable like it was a dirt patch back. Just be like, okay, Hugon, sure.
so you're able to navigate your way through the nicer section of town. This is where more of the money is.
So I'm picturing if like I'm walking through town
Mhm.
and I'm looking at this stuff and it's appearing, I'm just like, this was not here like 200 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do I think this is like some kind of alternate reality timeline that I'm in?
Oh,
God damn it.
let's see. Wisdom check.
We shouldn't have interacted with everyone. Oh no.
Wisdom. Wait.
With preferably with your
Good at
non-melted
wisdom?
D20.
Oh, fuck, no, I'm not.
With your non-reconfigured D20.
No, I have not done that.
Never.
Oh, that one. Oh, that's a 5.
You're pretty convinced that you've walked into some kind of augmented reality situation here,
Okay.
where maybe
So-
maybe only you are seeing where these things are. This is really just a dirt patch, but your goggles.
Oh, so it's like my mind's playing tricks on me, like I'm delusional.
More like maybe because as far as you know, you're still 200 years ago. So maybe
Okay.
your goggles are acting as like augmented reality, like.
Do I see anyone around me?
Like
Like, are there any people on the streets
oh,
that
absolutely.
I see?
yeah, absolutely.
I want to go to whoever's closest to me, and I want to poke them with my staff, like in the butt. Like, I'm testing reality. You know how that you pinch yourself to make yourself go away. I want to
If
see
you
if
pinch
it's
other
real.
people,
I'm testing the
Yeah,
boundaries
so
of this reality.
I'm gonna like go up with my stick and kind of poke them.
Just give me a quick D20 on that. I'm just curious
Okay.
as to where.
11.
You get him right in the butt cheek. Don't they? Gemweaver, what are you doing?
What?
How many
What
times?
year is it?
How many times have I told you not to poke me with your rod?
Well, what? Do I recognize this person?
Yes.
Really? You. How are you here?
What do you mean? How am I here? I'm always
What?
here. I live here.
But. What year is it?
He gives the year. I don't know what.
Okay, yeah. No. So he gives me current. I'd be like,
Yeah.
but we. And she's just gonna kind of stare for a second, and she's gonna look at Rozzy,
Razi's just
and
like shrugs the wings.
and she just kind of wanders off. Like, doesn't say anything to the person, just kind of wanders off.
And
Like,
and this person is just like, okay, Gemweaver, whatever. Typical Gemweaver bullshit. And just
typical
Continues-
nonsense.
continues on their way.
yeah. So then, if I'm like even slightly confused on when I'll wander to where, like, oh, it's real, or maybe it's not, or I'm just crazy, or we've really messed with time, and then
You have a
I'll
calendar in
start
your job?
wandering. Probably not. Like,
Yeah, that's-
time would probably not be Dren's biggest thing. Dates and stuff, not so
Mm-mm.
much. So I'd probably start wandering towards where I know Zedrinkai's place is, even though I don't think it's there. But it is. But it's not. But it is.
Like for all Dren knows, she's seeing like the artist rendering.
Yeah, I'm just like this.
Like,
How
for-
is this real? Why is this happening?
For when the architects were like, you know, showing like what this area could look like once it's developed, you know, and it's
Yeah, exactly.
so you're able to wander through again. This is like the nicer section of town. In from Dren's memory, when Pinedale was first founded, really the first thing to be built was the keep. Not necessarily built up
Okay.
the way that it was, because it took a while. You don't just start by building massive stone walls. You usually start with building, you know, with what you have.
Yeah,
and
there's
as,
like foundation
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
but that was like the first major construction of the area, and then there was obviously the bridge that was built over the river, that was very quickly expanded. That was a major works project as well that you remember, because you had to get trade in and out of Pinedale, and knowing the way that the wood shifted the way that it did, you never knew whether it was going to be coming, which side of the river the path was going to take you. So this, you know, bridge wide enough for 2 carts, very sturdily built, was one of the major projects. And then there was, of course, like the workers' village, where
Okay.
everyone started living initially, as they began mining and everything. And it wasn't until much later that this richer section began to build up, of more of like as the business owners started moving in. Nothing ever truly opulent, but definitely large 3-story homes, 3-story townhomes. If you could imagine, it looks very much like Brooklyn or Brooklyn Heights, with like the brownstones, you know, where you have, you know, very nice facades, you know, but these are not enormous homes,
Okay.
but they're large by Pinedale standards. If you were to go in your travels to, say, Waterdeep, these would be on the fair to middling size of things.
Okay.
All right. And you're able to find where Zedram Kai's manse is, where his home is. You're not sure if it, again, you're not sure, is it really there? Is it that you're just imagining it? Have you discovered augmented reality?
In my mind, I think I'm freaking losing it.
Which is like, how is that different than normal?
Well, see, I don't think she would be self-aware that she's losing it. More
Okay, so
just-
this is like the first evidence of like, I might be crazy.
Yeah, I might actually legitimately be
Now I understand why Hugon
my
hates
damn
me.
mind.
Wait a minute. I just got insight into why I drive Hugon nuts. Or did I?
Quite
Probably
it's,
not.
It's quite
No.
possible. Probably, like, I don't think of Hugon so much, just as like maybe something's up.
Give me an insight roll,
Okay.
as Dren does some self-reflection.
That a 9?
There is very little self-reflection that happens where there
Okay.
sticks.
Yeah, I don't think about this at all. I'm just like, oh, you know, this timey wimey wibbly wobbly bullshit is just what it is. And I'm
we
rolling
were
about
on
my-
the verge of a breakthrough.
I was on the verge of like self-inflection breakthrough, and then it was like, nah.
Nah, never mind. I'm fine. I'm cool. There's nothing wrong with me. It's the rest of the world that's borked.
The rest of the world's crazy. I'm fine.
So you were able to find his house. It is mid-morning. It's you know, this nice-looking brownstone type home. There's a set of stairs, stone stairs leading up to the home. Double doors, nice oak.
Okay.
Finely worked, like glass in the door, like frosted glass in the door.
I think. If I find it relatively easy, I don't know. I'm gonna have like the 2 little like angel and devil appear on the shoulder thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be like, one's Hugon and one's Dren. And it's like, you want to go look at stuff, right? You want to verify that you're not insane. And then Hugon's like, no, you're stupid, stay there. But there could be really cool stuff because we're in some alternate reality and it won't affect your reality, right? And then Hugon's like, no, shut up. And they're like yelling at each other.
And then you guys pulls out a dagger and is like, I will kill you.
Exactly.
Starts
So-
to stab the person on the left shoulder.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Drenmai versus Hugon.
Okay.
The angels are actually going to do battle right now.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Roll
with
for
that. What are we
initiative.
rolling?
This is insane
Okay.
and I love it.
Okay. I got. I blocked.
All right, so
It's initiative, but I don't care. I blocked.
Bomb. So we have a 20 initiative.
let me double check.
I'm so happy. That's what I used my 20 on because you know it's not going to happen again.
Good, so yeah, I have a dirty 20 as well.
A dirty 20
Oh, yeah, I
versus a
didn't even
nat
add
20.
anything to it.
Well, I think the nat 20 would, unless the nat 20.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Unless
negative?
she's got a negative to Dex.
Do you have a negative to dex?
No. I
Okay.
have. Let's see. My dex is +2, so 22.
So Angel
so-
Drenmai goes before Angel Hugon.
Yes.
So
Okay. Are we just gonna do like strength checks or something?
no,
we're
this
gonna
is
do
full
Angel.
on. This is battle. This is
I'm gonna spell the shit. So okay.
so
So
this will
maybe-
not count against any of your actual
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
stuff. This is just for this particular because this. Let's face it. This is the battle royale we've all been wanting for the last
Yes.
2 seasons. This is-
Exactly.
but in the
And-
best possible PvP way.
And this is 100%. So I'm picturing like this is my subconscious basically. That's battling Hugon's subconscious.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that I have 100% my full powers in my subconscious.
Hmm.
Mini Dren is gonna cast Blight.
Oh, nice.
My God.
And I've been waiting to use this so badly. And I'm casting it at level 4.
Oh Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Now, mind you,
What does it
Hugon, you can also move in 3 dimensions because you are
Oh,
essentially
yeah.
a construct.
So for those that don't know what Blight is, this is my first step into necromancy.
Oh, nice.
And it's necromantic energy that like consumes the creature of my choosing, and it drains all moisture and vitality out of it. And you have to make a con saving throw.
Getting a little thirsty.
Oh, it's so good. I've been waiting to use this.
So dehydrator, basically, the spell.
Yep.
Return-
It just sucks
Valander jerky.
all
What's the
life.
save?
What's the save he has to hit?
My save is a 15.
It's a pretty sweet spell.
Uh-huh. It's a good one.
8d8. It's not a nice.
Uh-huh.
stat.
Yeah,
That's pretty-
yeah, and then I get to add, I think, because I casted
Jesus,
it
8
at 4.
Jesus
So I
Christ.
get
Four-
to do 98.
No, it's every one above 5, isn't it?
Let's see. At
hi-
higher
you
levels,
cast the
when
spell-
you cast this spell using
fifth
level.
level.
or higher- Yeah, okay. So yeah, I
cast
get
it
to
at
roll
fourth
8
level.
against you because
Yeah.
I don't think I can cast at 5 yet. Nope, I can't.
Okay, so I need a 15 Constitution save.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, I'm like, that doesn't look like a number. That's because the dice is upside down. That is. I was like, how did 0-1 happen? That's a 16.
16.
Oh,
Okay, so you only take half.
Half damage.
I was
So
like,
let's see.
0-1. What the hell?
How did I roll an 0-1?
Dice really wants you to know that that was a 1.
You did a very bad job.
There's no 10s involved here.
Okay, so half of 49 is 24. Wait.
More or less.
Uh,
More or less.
Okay.
Yeah, 24.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So now,
Hang on. Let me.
because the cool thing about this fight is that you can just drop whatever your top level shit is right
Exactly.
away.
Pretty much. All right, I am going to full attack the shit out of Dren.
And what's better is
Can't wait.
in my head, I'm imagining if you've ever seen the show Happy, where Patton Oswalt does the voice of this cartoon unicorn that's with Christopher Maloney. If you remember, he was on Law & Order SVU as Stabler, who plays this drunken, drug addict, like corrupt, awful cop guy. And he's got this animated imaginary unicorn that's always flying around him. That's what I'm imagining. Is like you have Dren in real life, right? But then you've got the animated version of Dren and the animated version of Hugon, which I'm sure are both chibi.
So that's 18 to hit for one attack, 17 to hit
I had-
for another attack, and then 11 to hit for the third attack.
Okay, so the first 2 hit.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll those then. Let me.
I'm the only one who has the Star Trek fight music going on in their head right
I don't actually know what specific Star Trek movie you're talking about. So.
Oh no, not movie, TV show, original series.
Okay. Okay, so I am going to roll a superiority die to activate menacing attack.
Oh God.
All right, so that's. Sorry, there's a lot of dice over here. that-
Yeah, a lot of dice for him. Hey, she just did 8d8. Mine
fine.
is halved, but 8d8.
Okay, so that's 30 damage for 2 attacks, and then you need
Okay.
to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save.
And that saving throw is. Give me just 1 second. Because I want to make sure that I don't tell you the
I
wrong
rolled
thing.
a 15.
So. Proficiency bonus is 4 right now, isn't it? Or-
I think so. Yeah.
15 is exactly what you needed.
So
Okay.
Cool.
is there any result for her making the throw or like a?
If she succeeds, nothing happens.
Ah.
If she fails, she would have been frightened. And then I hit you 2 more times.
Okay.
What's the AC I need to hit?
I am 15.
15.
That's a 23 and a 21.
Oh. This is all to decide what Drenmai is going to do.
And I will spend another superiority die to do the exact same thing. Actually, let me make sure that I can do that. Oh, yeah, it just says whenever I hit.
Whatever I could do,
Gross.
I could do this thing.
That's another 21, so that's a total of 51 damage
Oof.
for 4 attacks.
Damn. All right. So
I think It's
I
your
think,
turn.
let's see, 54 would be the total.
yeah.
54 would be.
If we're going off my max HP, little me would be done.
Oh, okay. So
So essentially, you smacked him with a spell, and he's like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
Ah,
oh,
stab, 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 stab,
Exactly.
So this means that the Hugon on your shoulder won the argument.
Yes. So I'm going to I'm gonna think I guess I'm crazy, and then it's just be like, no, he seemed actually serious. So maybe I'll listen. And I'll kind of like post up, maybe not right outside, but somewhere close enough where I can kind of see what's going on.
Okay, so you're gonna try to find a good vantage point just to kind of observe the comings and goings in the house. and
Yeah.
whatnot. Are you attempting to hide, or are you just,
Oh yeah, I'm a small. I'll do a small.
Well, then let's
and-
do.
A small.
I'll do a small.
Do a
Well,
small.
I do a
I'll
small.
well, let's do it. Let's do a small roll then.
Okay. So stealth. Let's see. I stealth. I know I'm really good at stealth. Oh yeah, I am. 22.
You do a 22 small.
I do a 22
Okay,
small.
so
I'm
you're-
super small.
You're super small. You are very small right now.
Mhm.
and there are none who can see you when you're small.
I'm like, I want to be like
Very best.
like the Grouch in a garbage can or something, and you just see like eyeballs.
My
So-
life sucks. Well, I live in a garbage can. Shut up.
This is so I'm imagining like you find like some kind of garbage receptacle type thing, like you crawl in, but then there's like
Yeah,
the little mini laser of like the acetylene torch cutting the eye holes out.
exactly. Yeah, it's not full on eyeballs. It's, oh hey, there might be like a creature in there, but or not, or it could just be two pieces of glass.
We don't know. Just like, yeah, the goggles are just right in there.
Yep. I
No.
am zoomed in on something.
Okay, so you have so you're gonna set up your watch post.
Yep,
On this
I'll
post.
be a watch.
All right.
I do a watch.
You
I
do
like
a
that
watch, a small
Drinmai's
watch.
first foray into necromancy is against Hugon.
Which is technically against yourself.
in a meta,
Right.
yeah, against herself because it was metaphysical. It was completely metaphysical.
But still, makes me laugh.
Yeah. So, well, to those who laugh, we shall now go to Hugon Valander, who is approaching the training yard.
Now, you're going to have to help me out.
Mhm.
Gideon doesn't remember what he wanted to talk to Captain Case about.
I think it was just like the normal. Let's see.
Normal training sessions?
Normal training sessions. I'm trying to think of what other information might have been. Gnolls and werewolves. There's obviously,
Yes, there was a discussion about gnolls and
debriefing that. But before you do that, I need you to roll me a d10.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I roll a 9.
Okay, so we started off with 50 recruits that you drafted, press ganged, shanghaied into the internship program, dragooned into the internship program. This morning, you find that 9 of them have washed out. 9 of them have basically rang out. They went, rang the bell, and said, I can't do the things that they would like me to do.
Okay, I go to a wall with like some soot or chalk or something, and I write each of their names on the wall, and then above them put failure.
Oh God. So and Captain Case approaches and he says, I completely understand what we're attempting to do, what you're attempting to do with these folks.
Yeah.
If I can offer a suggestion for the folks who wash out.
Okay, I'm listening.
They obviously are not cut out for the level of engagement that you're looking
very
to
clear, yeah.
that you're looking to utilize them in, and I would agree. However, I do think that they might still be of use. So,
Oh, yeah.
what if we had? Would you mind if I used them in an auxiliary watch capacity? Because I'm imagining that if I'm understanding your goals correctly here, is that the people who you get to eventually get through this training
Mhm.
will likely be able to foray further out into the Chandlewood than anyone else.
Yes.
They
That's the goal is to create a first strike capable attack force.
I would guess that we would also be able to use them to help reestablish trade between here and Elboulder.
Yes, absolutely.
There's still a need for just general patrol within Pinedale. I think that the folks that aren't good for this would probably be good for the day-to-day tasking.
Yeah, absolutely. There's
this.
nothing to say that they can't still be useful. They're
Okay.
just not to quality for Obviator.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it's fine. It's not exactly a simple process, but I mean, I have no problem with you taking the washouts and, utilize them. They'll at least be in a little bit better shape now,
Mhm.
I would hope.
Yes, I think that we'll be able to work on things with them, but I think it'll be good if we can repurpose them.
What do you think about once you're washed out, you have to wait a year before you try again?
I'm fine with that. I think that's fair. It gives them time to train, to reevaluate, to see if it's something that they really want to do. I think that's fair. Okay.
I admit I went in a dark place there when it came to utilizing them and using them as, and my brain said target practice.
Meat shield.
Hugon's not evil yet.
Well, no, it wasn't Hugon who was saying that. It was Case.
Someone,
Case is actually a better person than Hugon.
someone has to be the first one to take someone has to be there
Would
for the
Hugon
first round of
admit
arrows.
that though?
What, that Case is the better person?
Yeah.
Probably not to Case, but yeah.
Inside.
Inside, like, he's very aware. Like, if somebody asked him, like, if it had to come down between him and Case, he'd say, you should pick Case. Unless you want somebody to be really, really dead.
Unless you really need them dead like yesterday. In which case,
I'm your man.
I'm the guy for that. Unless you're on a budget. And then
You know, do you want a guard captain or do you want a killer? I mean, you got to figure out what you want first. Because if you want a guard captain, Case is your man.
It's like, do I want garlic chicken or do I want noodles?
Yeah, it's like, come on, you've got options.
both
and,
are gonna sate your hunger.
you know,
but
a line is forming behind you.
one's
So
gonna
it's
do it.
Feed you.
Do you want the ramen noodles from the grocery store, or do you want the ramen noodles from the ramen place?
Mm.
You
I
know?
mean, if you say the grocery store, you're wrong.
Wait, so you're saying that discount ramen is Hugon?
no.
No,
Discount
Hugon's a
ramen
very
is Case.
particular type of ramen.
I was about to say, I think like Hugon would be the like tried and true type ramen.
And then
Steadfast
everybody
ramen.
else is just store bought.
Exactly.
Steadfast ramen.
Kroger brand.
It's not even like name brand. It's like, it's the store brand.
Oh, very important. So today's training is going to be teaching people how to fight in groups
Ah,
and fight larger targets than them.
okay. How would you like
So
to go
that's-
about doing this?
It's going to probably be a polearm practice day.
In my head, I just had, all right, so you three are going to sit on each other's shoulders, and you guys are going to be the big...
That would be really funny.
That would be funny. I don't think it would be practical, but
And like Hugon's like, man, I wish I had like a captive giant. That would be perfect.
well, you don't have a captive giant.
Oh,
I've got a friendly giant that I don't want hurt.
Okay, this is true. See, Hugon is a good person.
Is there
No,
Halloween
Hugon-
in our world?
What?
Is there what?
Would there be
Halloween?
Halloween in our world?
I hope not.
I believe there is a type of Halloween in on Torald.
Probably some
Probably.
kind of celebration of the dead, I would imagine.
I know
I
it's
do-
a, it's a harvest
in the
one.
garbage can, a light bulb of whatever D&D version of light bulb appears above Dren's head, and it's like, I'm gonna paint Thanook green for Halloween. Friendly green giant.
Then from far away, you feel a middle finger from somewhere.
Exactly.
From far away, a cosmic middle
Like
finger.
she's bored. She's in this garbage can just thinking. It's like, oh, green.
And Thunuk, as you're trying to continue to work on this map, a sense of dread comes over you for no reason, and you're not really sure why.
I feel scared now. The
There's
map
just-
scared me.
There's a disturbance in the 4.
Brian,
It works.
Brian. No.
Oh my goodness.
Bad and wrong. But so it's going to be polearm practice day at the
Mhm.
training yard. And he doesn't trust them yet with anything more complicated than spears.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Tadell.
no, not her. She's too small for
Mm-hmm.
good spear work.
She could be a good example as to what you should do because you are smaller than the other thing you're going to be fighting.
This is true. But again, she's kind of like a little badger of a person. She's very, very good at fighting solo, but not so good with teamwork, which is something that we'll need to work on. But
Mhm.
Find like the healthiest group.
also,
would be-
she's not allowed to fight werewolves. Like, you must be this tall to fight werewolves.
unless
She's
you're
not.
unless you have sorceress origin, and in which case then there's an exception.
Then there's an exception.
Yes.
If you're a halfling, that height exception does not.
It
exist.
scales.
It scales.
It
It's a
scales
scaling.
depending. It's a racial scale of if you are only this big, but that's as
Then
big
here's
as your
the-
people
here's your
get.
scale. Your scale is different.
Or if you're able to annihilate a full acre of forest with a single spell, then exceptions can be made.
You know, that's different. But also, she's a child, and
Yes.
I think her parents would be mad. Not that they're very good parents for letting her hang out with me. Anyway, but this is something that I'd want to avoid. So the children in the group are allowed to watch, but
Mhm.
only they're allowed to watch and train, but they're not going to be deployed.
Mhm,
So to
right.
speak.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Right. So how would you formulate this? So you're saying pole arm training, group training. How would you see this drilling to go down?
How many people do I have left?
41. And this
40.
includes this includes Tadell in that number.
How many of those are children, including Tadell?
Tadell's the only child there.
Tadell is the only child. That is
Yes.
great, because that means I have an even number of individuals. So, because they're not very good, I'm going to break them into 10 groups of 4. They're not very good yet. It's just a fact of the matter.
Because you're terrible.
I mean, it's legit. They're not very good yet.
Listen, that's fine.
That's why we're training.
Mm-hmm.
If they were good, I wouldn't be here. I'm breaking them into 10 groups of 4 and basically teaching them about how to, between the 4 people, control somebody,
Mm-hmm.
with spears and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that if the front 2 are distracting, the back 2 are striking.
Mm.
If the front 2 are having trouble, the back 2 are trying to maneuver the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Basically trying to make sure that the creature doesn't have a stable footing or doesn't have the ability to move where it wants to. Basically, it's about controlling the ground
Okay.
right now.
Drenmai, you see the door open to
Ooh,
the
okay.
mansion which you were watching, and you see a very well dressed Zedram Kai exit the mansion.
I'm so confused. Still, even though having somebody else verify that we're current time, I'm just okay.
Maybe I'm
Very big in my
existing in
imagination.
2 different times
Yeah,
simultaneously.
this is totally parallel universe in my mind.
I'm a slider.
What?
It was a 90s TV show. It wasn't particularly good.
Probably before my time.
With John.
Do I see him leaving or coming into the house?
Leaving. You can see
Okay.
he takes a moment to adjust his cape. He's got that cape that kind of goes off the shoulder, right?
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
looks like he's wearing some of his finer wear, not quite royal court ready, but very
Okay.
I'm going to work type situation.
Okay.
Beard neatly trimmed.
I want to do a Mission Impossible stealth type thing.
Okay.
I want to do a snack.
You do it. Okay.
I'm gonna sneak the shit out of him.
Okay. To what end?
Well, Hugon was little mini Hugon was really insistent that I keep an eye on him. So
Mhm.
it's that's forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
Is okay, it's almost like tunnel vision, or in Kill Bill, it's wee woo tunnel vision.
Yeah.
or Terminator, goggles go on. It's
Kill Bill
zooms in,
sirens
out,
play softly.
Target. Yeah, little target appears on him, and then a whole bunch of numbers and nonsense, and then it's okay.
But does
Going
Dren have her
after-
goggles down? Because
Oh,
this
yeah,
is all
goggles-
possible. That this is
Yeah. Oh yeah, the second I see him, it's goggles activate, zoom in, really zoom, and it does that, and then target activate.
You know what?
numbers,
Despite the
letters.
fact that he's been a pretty bad guy, not a badass. He works out.
That's he works out and do the full pan. Okay, yeah, okay. Focus.
Pay attention now. Pay attention.
Pay
Attention.
attention to what we're supposed to be doing.
See,
Hugon
basic
little-
measurements are all
little-
sort of showing up, and also notes that she has written. down.
Exactly, little
Massive
notes and
fart
graphs.
face.
Massive fart. face.
Exactly. So I want to do that little spider climb. Hell, I'll use spider climb if that helps. I will cast spider
Mhm.
climb and do whatever I need to be able to walk on on all fours, mind you, crawling around to follow him.
I will. Okay, do a stealth check, but I will give you advantage for using
Okay.
the spider climb.
Sweet. Okay. I did a 19 and a 20.
Nice,
So
a nat,
that's
a nat 20,
25.
like a nat 20.
Nat 20
Bwah, bwah,
plus
bwah,
my
bwah.
5, so 25.
Nice.
So you are able to scuttle out of your, and I imagine
It's this
Like
creepy,
creepy-
little garbage covered
creepy
gnome
Japanese
monster.
horror, like body horror movie, like scuttling out of this trash can,
Exactly.
like because there's like trash like dangling like
The
over
trash
top of the
is
head.
On the limbs are kind of cocked at
The
weird
limbs,
90
like
degree
Spider
angles.
Climb makes the limbs like longer and have
Yeah,
an extra.
exactly.
Yeah, it's
But
all
you know how like in all like like in the Ring, it was always like the stringy hair hanging down, but that's the garbage.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
and
yeah, it's in
scuttles
my
up, scuttles
hair.
up, scuttles up.
And then, but it's that weird little. It's the skittering. It's that.
There is probably a spider-like sound as
This is Drinmai
Yeah.
as imagined by Junji Ito.
Exactly. So
Scuttling
yeah,
around.
I
1000% bad.
I'm
And-
doing a snack and skittering behind him like on walls and like
Skitter
you know
scatter.
the head does that weird twitch to follow him. Yeah,
like
it's
around this, like
creepy.
kind of like on the side, just
Yeah.
and you notice that he is walking in the direction of the keep.
Okay. I'll stay close-ish
Mhm.
and then just kind of keep an eye on him to see what's happening.
Okay. Hugon, as you are starting to prepare your recruits for their drills, you notice that the members of the town watch or town council, not the town watch, the town council, begin filing into the keep. So you figure it's getting close to the time of your meeting.
Okay. My goal with them is to get to them before their meeting starts.
Mm-hmm.
Not only because I don't want their schedule to be interrupted, but because I don't want them to have a moment to prepare for what I have to say to them.
Ah. Okay.
And I don't know what that's going to be yet.
Well, you can think about it during our break because
Okay.
we're at the halfway point of our game. We are going to take a brief break where we can
The briefest of breaks.
the briefest of breaks. It'll be of an appropriate length for us to do what needs to be done, and then we shall return, and we shall find out exactly what Hugon Valander will say to the Pinedale Town Council. We will find out what Zedram Kai is up to. We will find out if Thunic is able to figure out how to fix the map. And maybe we will find out more.
Does he learn any shortcuts and hotkeys? We will see.
We will. Does he bother to go to the whatever D&D equivalent of YouTube is to look at all the different tutorials for the specific things he wants to do?
Does he save?
Yeah.
Does he remember to save?
Does he remember to
Oh no.
Is
there's
autosave a function? We don't know. Does the table crash because he leans on it too hard and breaks a leg? You don't know. But we will find out the answer to all of these questions in just a few minutes. So please, if you would, stick around and continue to join us for more D&D. And just a reminder that next week will be our big giveaway game. So please let people know so we can have more people here and we can give away
So we
cool
can
things.
Give
and-
stuff away.
Yes. So anyway, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Bye.
Hello. This is
Too loud. Sorry.
Team X.
I was about to say, are we doing accents? We all need to pick
No,
put up a
no,
really
no.
awful.
We had this conversation, and
We had this conversation. And
where
Gideon said
everybody
no.
must speak with a random
Brian is
I
muted.
want to be
European
fresh,
accent.
Mute.
but I want to be fresh for the rest of this month.
Yeah. You shall refer to me as Baroness. Baroness de Cobre.
No.
I want to be fresh.
Want to be
I
fresh.
can't take this screwdriver right here. Damn it.
Put it
jam
right
it
in my ear.
Solve
I thought
everything.
freshly used scissors. Does that count? Will that be like appropriate ear stabbing?
I got a permanent marker. Would that do?
That works. Oh, wait, I have a sparkler.
Anyway. So aside from all the things that we could potentially stick in our ears, but will not, because you're not supposed to, we are going to actually go back and play some Dungeons and Dragons. So in this episode, Eno is taking a prolonged nap after his great creative endeavor, after he did quite possibly his magna opus, the
Yes.
work of his lifetime. Thunic is attempting to work out the specifics of the map table, and getting things back to where they should probably be. Or he's taking a nap. It could be, at this point, it's Schrodinger's Thunic.
I mean, is it really a nap when basically your body and brain are like, screw it?
But right now, unless you're actually in that room, unless you're Stephen, it is Schrodinger's Thunic, where he is both asleep and figuring out the map simultaneously. Drenmai is currently following Lord Zedram Kai as he is making his way through the town
Doing a creepy
towards
snack.
and doing a very creepy snack. And Hugon had started training, started the drilling with what remains. He already had 9 people wash out of his recruitment process. Which I forget. You've named this strike force, this potential strike force. And I'm trying to remember the name that you gave them.
Oh, this is outcome and solutions management. I think.
Outcome.
Hang on. Let me think about this. No, outcome management and solutions.
Management.
That's what it is. The OMS.
The OMS. That's right.
Which
Outcome
is what I
management
had to file it under at home office because it had to have the appropriate amount of documentees
Mhm.
built into the name. You know, they had to be able to put it in a line item in this year's budget.
And you have
And-
to have the appropriate acronym.
Also, there is, the naming convention set forth by head office
Mm-hmm.
that requires very, very stringent naming protocols.
So that way outsiders can be. That way you can impress outsiders with your technical speak.
Also,
RMS
if you want to
has-
be, if you want to pronounce it wrong, it's awesome.
Sure. Why not? It could be that way too.
Awesome. What's this? Awesome. Oh, that sounds great. It sounds happy.
But
yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
as he was starting the drilling, he noticed that the town council was gathering for their morning meeting. They were slated to discuss the events of the previous evening, where a werewolf had been wandering around Pinedale, and Team Xenagog had to dispatch it. And then they discovered that there was more than one werewolf, and they also discovered that the werewolf that they dispatched was one of the missing watch members. So that is where we lay our scene at the moment. Drenmai, give me a perception check on your target.
Oh no. Am I good? Okay. So. Oh no. Okay, so that's a 3 because I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1. So you're still aware of Zedram Kai, but you're having trouble keeping track of him as he makes his way through some crowds.
Yeah, that's a person I know.
Oh, wait, there's Harry. I wonder how the kids are.
Oh, I found a shiny on this building. Skitter, 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 skitter.
Oh
wow, they really need a paint job up here, and ooh,
Oh, yeah.
I think they're getting a wasp nest over there, and
Somebody's cooking something really good, and I start like
Mhm.
skittering over to that window.
so you
It's
think
like the pie, like the old school cartoons with the pie with the wavy scent thing.
Mhm.
It's like,
and Drenmai just starts floating through the air, nose first.
yep.
So in the course of that, you think you might have lost Zedram Kai in the crowds.
Oh,
Not
no.
that
Okay.
there's huge crowds wandering through Pinedale, but there's enough hustle and bustle at this time in the morning.
I snap out, like I try to snap myself out of apple pie mode, and like start scanning, like goggles activate.
So we need to
Trying
reacquire
find
the
me.
target. Investigation
Target
check.
acquired. Target acquired.
Investigation.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So you're able to pick him up as he goes around a corner,
Oh, there's the
be-
fancy asshole.
and then between the two buildings. So like you have to like scuttle over some like clothesline in between like two of the buildings. Underneath. Mission Impossible your way through, and you get around. And as you get around the corner, he's like in this alley, and he's stopped for a moment, and he hasn't turned around, but you think he might be saying something, and you're not quite sure.
Okay, I'll use my sneaky, creepy self to like get closer, like maybe use the shadows of the buildings to kind of hide, so I can get closer to try and hear what he's saying.
Let's do another Sneak check,
Okay.
because this is different. A Sneak check is different than a small check.
Right, these are distinct.
19 total.
Okay, so you're
19
able.
snack.
So you're
19
able to scuttle down the side of the building using like a shadow in the corner by one of the gutters,
Okay.
and like scuttle down. But of course you're doing it head first, right?
Itsy
Like,
bitsy spider.
but the
went
head's
down
up.
the water
The
spout.
head's up the entire time. But
Yeah.
like and these goggles, the eyes magnified through them. Just these
Oh,
these
100%.
unblinking eyes. And you're able to scuttle down, and he's mumbling something, and you basically hear
A truck.
Your car.
a bee or an asshole riding one of those
No,
mini
that
bikes.
was my stomach. That was my stomach. I realized I'm hungry.
But
He lets loose a fart that sounds somewhat like an exhaust for a vehicle.
you hear him say, "Have all the preparations been made?"
Oh.
And
Australian
you hear kind of like a almost disembodied voice behind him.
Do I see anyone else?
You don't see anyone, but if you want to use one of your many methods of detecting if someone else is there, you can absolutely do that.
This could also be funny.
Just cast Blight on him. Fuck him.
No, because
Take
I
88.
was trying to debate if
Shocking grasp.
I was trying to make sure that spider climb wasn't a concentration, or it is a concentration, and I was trying to see if what I want to do is also a concentration, but it's not. So I can spider climb and also do this. So I'm gonna cast blink, and I'm gonna try to go into my other plane,
Oh.
so I can get closer, because it also allows me to interact. If I'm in the ethereal plane, I can also hear and see what's in the original plane.
Right. It's almost like an
Can't tell
overlay.
from there.
It's an overlay.
Yeah. So I want to do that, so I can then also see if there's something else that he's talking to. If I don't immediately see anything, but then they can't see me.
Now, if I remember correctly,
I have to
With-
roll a d20 for each turn.
yes. So we'll start off with that, with your
Okay.
first roll for
So let's see.
blink.
11 or higher, I vanish.
Poof.
Okay, it's a 16, so I vanish.
Yep.
And I wanna spider climb over into the ethereal plane closer to them. I get like 10 I think I have 10 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And I can like just instant poof 10 feet closer.
okay, so you do that, and so the ethereal plane is very, very Lord of the Rings, One Ring vision.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, where everything's kind of like
It's all smoky
Yeah.
and black and white, but
and there's a smoky figure standing behind Zedram Kai, approximately 7 feet tall, big burly
He-
guy, but
he's massive to me.
shadowy.
Okay.
Even in the ethereal plane, there's something a little off there, like almost like it's like his like position keeps on shifting, like it's never quite set in one exact place, and
Okay.
you hear him say, so Zedram Kai had asked if all the preparations have been made, and this whatever this figure is, this humanoid figure, says, "Yes, everything is in place. There's but one little detail I need to take care of today, but things will be able to proceed as we have foreseen. Just do your parts. Do your parts, and you shall have all you desired." And from your vantage point, Zedram Kai is kind of looking over his shoulder, and he gets like a little bit of a smirk, like a self-satisfied smirk,
Mm-hmm.
and he starts walking again in the general direction of the keep. And the shadowy figure then breaks off and starts walking once they get out towards so this alley leads out to the main square of Pinedale, and Zedram Kai banks a left so he can head over towards the keep, whereas this shadowy figure bears off to the right, and it looks like he's walking more towards the Silvered Harrier.
I'm having like an internal conflict of interest of like, should I keep following Zedram Kai? Should I follow the shadowy person, or should I literally just go back and tell him that something's up?
Why not all
Do
three?
Yeah, I know.
Just
Let's
divide myself in
split
three and
myself into three. Divide myself into three because it's totally possible. Because Dren is an animatronic, FYI. No, I'm just kidding.
like an arm just goes scuttling it off by itself.
Yeah, exactly.
She pops an eye out and sticks it in the guy's pocket. And it goes.
Exactly. Dren wants to be eternal, so she'll figure that out later how to become immortal.
And she just used the wrist walkie.
The Rocky
I
talkie.
don't know. Because I'm pretty far away, so maybe I could try.
Well, the range on that is 1 mile, so you're definitely within 1 mile of your team right now.
So then I'll like do that because I haven't messed with it, so I'm still like unsure of the technology on this. So I'm gonna tap it a bunch of times. So like everyone else's is just gonna hear.
Yeah, you get kind of like that squelch, that little squelch blast over your.
Yeah, and then be like, God, is what it's gonna kind of come through.
Yugon holds the button. He goes, "You have to hold the button, Dren. What do you want?"
Okay. And I'm gonna be like super sneaky quiet, be like, and I'll get really close to the mic, so it's gonna be like, Yugon, I'm next to Zedram Kai, and there was a smoky figure, and he said something was up, and I'm not sure what to do. Should I keep following Kai, or should I follow the smoky guy? Because one's going to the keep and one's going to another direction. I'm not quite sure what to do.
There's like a 10-second pause, and you feel somewhere that like a sigh is happening. And he hits the button.
And it's
Whether
not, and it's not an ASMR sigh.
No, it's a.
It changes the pressure of the air in the area. That's how much of a sigh it is. Or the weather alters because of it.
If Zedram Kai is coming to the keep, you don't need to follow him. Follow the smoky figure. Stop it!
Okay.
For the folks listening to this, you're wondering what all that extra noise is.
Yeah.
This is actually fiddling with the
Throttling her
microphone.
Microphone. That's like me like rubbing up against the gauntlet kind of thing, and then it's like,
I'm trying to eat it.
okay, I'll follow Smokey Guy. I'll let you know what happens later.
Okay. Bye.
I'll,
Click.
I'll follow the smoky guy.
Okay.
So with that,
yeah.
with Dren's warning,
yes.
Hugon heads straight indoors,
Right.
directly to the administrative council.
Okay. Let us go to that. We will talk to the administrative council. So just to give you a refresher as to who's on the council, because Hugon Valander obviously knows who these people are,
Right.
but the player, it's been a while since we've seen the council. We've got some people who are new to the stream who have not seen the council before. So the people that we have, the beings that exist on the town council of Pinedale, you've got Magsis, who is a half orc, a female half orc blacksmith, and she's actually the head of the blacksmithing guild.
Okay.
In Pinedale.
Which, for those of you who don't know, is a significant portion of the town's income because of the very rich mithril mine
Yes.
that Pinedale is founded on top of.
Yes. You have Araga Greensleeves,
Okay.
a female elf carpenter, who is part of who is not the head of the guild, but she is a carpenter there. You've got Shiror Short Tankard,
Okay.
who is a male halfling cleric of Timora.
Interesting.
You've got Shaward Fletcher, who is a male half-elf botanist,
Cool.
who actually has who helps run part of the conservatory. That's a little travel up into the mountains, where there are some very specific rare flowers grown, as well as he oversees some of the growth of the different hops varieties that are used in the brewing.
I imagine he's also involved with the coffee trade.
Also involved in the coffee trade, kind of, a little, has the fingers in all different elements of
Plant related and
Yeah.
agrarian related.
Exactly. And then you've got you've got the actual brewmaster of Pinedale, Azerbaijan Olmeister of Clan Dunderlack of the Maithwatch. And he sits on the council and actually acts kind of like as a council chair.
Okay.
Gavels in the sessions and whatnot. Not that his vote doesn't carry more weight than any other vote, but he was basically elected chair of the committee because there's Robert's rule or not Robert's rules or whoever the Ferunian equivalent of Robert is,
So Hugon is still in armor from his foray into the past, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't have the mask on, but is definitely looks like he means business. And with werewolves hunting the citizens, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
To also be armed and armored. So he proceeds straight to the council chambers as they are probably getting settled. Does anyone try to prevent him from doing that?
No, there's no prevention. They're probably not surprised that you had some things that you wanted to say about the previous night's events.
Is Captain Case here?
Captain Case comes in with you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he heads straight to Azerbaijan, and not standing in the center where people come and plead the case. Goes up to the desk or podium or whatever. Goes. So no doubt at this point you've heard of what's going on outside the city.
Only what reports you and Captain Case have filed, but
Right.
yeah.
Are you confident that everything that I say here now can be held in secrecy by you? By the council?
If you so desire, and they all nod along.
Okay.
Yeah.
The situation has become increasingly dire. No doubt that you understand that, but we have multiple werewolves in the woods surrounding Pinedales working in concert with the gnolls there. An attack is imminent. We have also received intelligence from the head office of Acquisitions Incorporated CEO Omen Dran, indicating that Lord Zedram Kai is at least partly, if not wholly, involved in these outside agents. We also begin to suspect that he is responsible for the cessation of trade between Elboulder and Pinedale, and therefore the rest of the outside world. I can have proof of documentation brought to you. Probably not soon, but it can be had. It just depends on how head office handles business. And if Buck isn't been taken apart. But that aside. Now, what I am about to propose is not easy, nor is it something that I propose lightly. And I understand what it's going to look like, and I need you to understand that I truly have the best interests of Pinedale, its citizenry, and its prosperity at heart. I think that you will believe me when I say that. Does anybody look like they don't believe him? He wants to take a quick look at the crowd.
Insight check.
Insight? Okay. I think I'm okay at insight. No, not too great at it.
No, I'm terrible at it.
I whomped those, so
Oh, wah-wah.
Okay.
I don't
all
give a
right.
shit.
So today,
That's a total
I'm
of a 23.
awesome. So this is, for some reason, you just got yourself into card playing mode.
Well, it's essentially like this is one of the few times he gives a shit about what politicians have to say and what they think.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
Because it directly involves the entirety of the citizenry of the place that he's calling home.
Okay. And maybe
And
there's
his
actually,
job.
and maybe there's also a little, yeah, I was gonna say maybe some of the obviator juice is starting to flow a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, and hey, maybe
Juice.
I'm gonna start. Okay. Yeah, there's no one here that you notice that's you're not picking up on any kind of doubt as to. No one here you're not picking up that anyone here doubts your sincerity.
Mhm.
You think there might be some skepticism, which is different.
Right.
It's
hard to accept what I'm saying without proof.
Yeah.
It's essentially the case.
Exactly. There's varying levels of skepticism. There's obviously a universal sense of I don't know if distress is the right word for the reports of the imminent attack.
Mhm.
You know, that's definitely gonna grab some attention. You definitely have their attention.
And now we have evidence of a werewolf attack, like an actual body,
mhm.
to show them and say, like, listen, this is what's going on.
Yeah. So there's definitely some causes for concern. You know, they're all concerned.
Mhm.
That's universal. Varying degrees of skepticism at your claims,
Right.
but none of them seem to have any doubt as to your sincerity or your motives.
Right. So the crux of the issue is that, and this is probably the easiest part of what I am about to suggest. Zedram Kai cannot be allowed to do business in this city and cannot be allowed to remain in this city. He needs to be expelled. That's the first step. And I'm happy to hear thoughts on that, but he's on his way, and this conversation needs to be finished before he gets here. He has just had a meeting with a nefarious individual and is on his way. My spies have indicated to me that something is about to happen.
Dren's so secretly proud from afar.
Well, he's not going to out you.
He understands the value of a.
No, but she's like, for whatever reason, super happy right now.
Like, oh, he said a nice thing.
I feel like I did a good thing. I did a good job.
Good.
You did do a good job.
Magsis says, and this is the half-orc head of the blacksmith guild. She says, that's easier said than done. He has
I understand.
significant business interests here, and as of right now, his is the only coin that's been flowing in.
I hear you, and I also think it's important to understand why that is the case. His is the only coin that's flowing in because he is the only one in control of the situation in the Chandlewood, and he is allowing his coin into the city. He is allowing the trade that benefits him directly into the city in order to impoverish and stress the rest of Pinedale's economy.
She says, I don't disagree with your
Okay.
with your take on the situation, but the problem still becomes people need to eat.
Absolutely.
And if we expel him, there's nothing to replace that coin as of right now. And
This is true.
we're getting into the summer, and before we know it, we'll be at the winter months, and there's things that we need to trade for that right now he's the only one able to provide.
I have, rather, my company has access to a means of instantaneous transportation between our location here in Pinedale to a mountain settlement and monastery far to the north. That's not exactly what we need at the moment for Pinedale. However, we are also aware of the existence of other such means of instantaneous transportation between Pinedale and other places. No doubt that we can find a more suitable location, but trade can continue and at a much quicker pace. It's going to be difficult and it's going to be dangerous, but again, that's where we come in. We handle the dirty work, profit flows to you.
What would the cost of such a proposal be? Because I can't imagine that Acquisitions Incorporated is going to allow this to just happen for free.
You're absolutely right. It will not be free. However, given the direness of this situation, negotiation can be had. A grace period perhaps is possible. I don't. The standard percentage cut of.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take you out of it, but
No,
it's
it's
just awesome.
The standard percentage cut, as dictated by Home Office, is quite reasonable. I don't have the full paperwork in front of me. It can be acquired very easily. In fact, he calls up Stephanie and goes, Stephanie, I need you to forward over the I don't know what Hugon would call it. I don't know what the name of the document is. It would essentially be
The trade
rates-
in incise, the trade incise and transportation.
Send me the taxation information, please. Just send it to me directly.
Right away, sir.
And so he cancels that call. The documents are going to be on their way shortly. So you've presented that trade needs to continue and his coin is the only ones flowing into the city. I agree. We have, at the very least, a solution to that. It won't be perfect right away, but it's going to be better than dealing with him. Believe me. Also, he's evil. I don't know.
I hate
what
his
else to say.
face, and I hate his stupid face.
The second thing that is going to have to happen here, and this is, I fully understand the gravity of what I am asking. As an outsider and a member of a adventuring company, of course, my motivations would be suspect, and the you have to think of the good of the town. I understand. What I am requesting is to be empowered as a legal and council appointed government position in Pinedale as defender. I have every suspicion that an attack is imminent. Their agents are already in the city. You recall, no doubt, the near miss we had with the act of terrorism and the magical explosive that was in the basement that we disabled, what with the teleporting arrow and what have you. I mean, the writing is on the wall. they keep failing the clandestine measures, they're going to try something overt. The reason I'm asking to be empowered is such that there can be no doubt that the authority comes from the council rather than an outside actor. By legitimizing me, you are saying, here's whom we have appointed for the defense of Pinedale. I can never be said to be an usurper, so to speak. This gives you a convenient scapegoat. He shrugs like, it's true.
You can blame it on him.
Plausible deniability.
It also gives you a veteran warrior with an incredible amount of experience in defenses and sieges. The metaphorical key to protecting the city.
Folks, this is what we call creating a position for yourself. This is like the golden standard for when you're going to approach for a job search, is that it doesn't matter if they have a job available, you're going to create one for yourself, right? Give me a persuasion check on this.
Okay.
I think this definitely deserves some persuasion.
All right. That's not amazing, but that's better than I had thought it was going to be. That is a 13.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not great.
So Azerbaijan and the rest of the council kind of all look at each other, and he says, clears his throat, and he says, well, to address one of the points, first of all, thank you very much for your proposal. For one of the points, we do have the contract still standing with Acquisitions Incorporated that does, for protection until, and training the new watch. So we appreciate, continuing to honor the terms of that contract. As far as the rest of your proposal, we actually are about to field a very similar proposal from Zedram Kai. So I think what we'll need to do is hear his and then make our decision. We have the RFP out there right now, so now we're just, have to weigh all the options, and I think we can definitely take yours under consideration along with his and see which one is definitely going to weigh out best for the long-term growth. I understand your trepidation about him, and not to say that we don't necessarily share that same trepidation, but we're also in a situation where it's difficult for us to ignore all possible solutions to the problem.
Of course.
If for the more immediate task at hand, for an imminent threat, if you're saying that there is attack that is imminent, please let us know what is required, and we will see what we can do. And Araga, the carpenter, and Magsis both offer their services. They're both saying that, they both, basically are saying, our guilds are at your disposal. Obviously, if things need to be built, if things need to be forged, please let us know what we can do to help. Obviously, this would benefit us all.
I will be doing today a full patrol of the city and its walls, and I will be notating any sort of deficiencies that I find, and then I will be approaching you two directly then.
Excellent.
With recommendations. Similarly, I will be taking a full inventory of the equipment in the keep. I will also be having a conversation with one of my team members regarding anti-siege weapons, ballistae, catapults, things of that nature, to see what can be had. But again, I will be speaking to you again very soon regarding this. My only request is that no matter what Zedram Kai brings to you today, do not say yes yet. At least give a couple of days. Stall him. I don't know what he's going to do. I know it's not going to be good, and I have every faith that he's going to reveal himself as a threat to Pinedale in its totality. I just need, if it's more evidence that you require, tell me what you need and I will acquire. If it's documentation that you require, tell me and I will have it delivered in triplicate to you. I want to make it very clear that there is a right and a wrong decision here. Not a profitable and improfitable decision, but a legitimate moral right and a moral wrong.
And Azerbaijan says, well, of course, we're not going to sign anything today. And if there is evidence that would help us in this decision, or if there's evidence that he has committed crimes, by all means, any and all evidence will be greatly appreciated. I do not take offense that we cannot take you at your word.
Understood. Understood.
But whatever evidence you can provide would be excellent. And with that, there's a knock at the door, and in strides.
As soon as that happens, as soon as Zedram Kai comes through the door, Hugon, inclines his head to the council and then leaves.
And
doesn't exchange words with anyone, doesn't say anything, doesn't even look. Just
straight ahead. You can't help but notice a very as Zedram Kai sees you, he sweeps into the room, like the cape kind of billows out behind him. It's very grand the way he walks in. This is not the first time he has walked into a room with the idea of making an impression. Okay. And he walks in, and you can't help. He doesn't make eye contact with you either, straight ahead, but you can't help but notice the very self-satisfied smirk as you pass by.
Okay.
It rankles you just a bit.
Now, because he wasn't allowed to bring his weapons in here, I trust.
Who?
Hugon.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a weapons-free zone. No blades, no bows. Leave your weapons here.
Yeah, leave your weapons at the door. Just before, just as he passes Zedram Kai, and before he gets to the doors, he summons his weapon.
Oh, Jesus. As he's walking, he just holds out his hand and keeps walking, and it's like, as he's walking...
And the whole portal thing happens, and it's, really loud.
There's the sound of war coming through, yells and screams, and
he just sort of hefts it in one hand and then doesn't turn around.
No.
All he wanted was his weapon back.
You never watch the explosion when you're walking away from him.
And he just continues to walk. Actually, I want to throw him off his game a little bit. Can I roll an intimidate check with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 19.
All right, we're going to contest this now, because he's trying not to be intimidated.
Right. So I think it's a wisdom.
He does not pass that. So there's a hiccup in his step.
Like
ever
didn't expect that.
Not even like a trip. It's more like one step is slightly shorter than all the others. The pace is just ever so off. He's very measured in a way of making sure that the average person probably would not have noticed. But maybe, just maybe, for a moment, you're living rent-free right here.
Yeah.
Right in the brain pan. Just for a moment.
Yeah, and nonverbal intimidation. How he feels about me is his own business. I didn't do anything.
All I did was get my weapon. I don't know why.
I just acquired my weapon. I don't know why he's having a bad day.
Thunic, did you ever solve the table? Or is the map just beyond... Do you have to basically start the file over?
Thunic passed out.
Just on the table? How is this where it's just sort of on the table?
The table is average person heighted. So he's probably been sitting cross-legged on the floor trying to do this stuff. And eventually he starts doing it like this. And eventually
the head just goes down on the desk.
And now he's just... It looks like, from anyone who doesn't know that Tunic is knows what he sounds like when he's asleep, might think that he's mumbling to himself while working on it. But he is gone. He is dead to the world.
Give me a let's do a wisdom check.
Oop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, 9.
9. Okay, so you do hear the squawk of the walkie-talkie as Stephen is paged by Hugon,
Mhm.
asking for the forms. You're vaguely, it's like that state of sleep where you're kind of asleep but also vaguely aware of everything that's going on around you.
Mhm.
You know, it's that there's a term for it, right? It's where you're kind of like lucidly sleeping or something. You know, it's like a lucid nap where you're vaguely aware. It's like, yeah, okay, and you're still kind of working, and maybe some things are kind of getting where they need to be. There's some strange lines that have kind of been drawn on the map, you know, with the stylus that you probably fell asleep while you were doing that.
Mhm.
And then you hear a thump upstairs. Now we're going to come back to that in just a second. Drenmai,
An ominous thumping.
Thump. I hear a thump.
I do a thump. So Drenmai, let's do another stealth check here and let's also do another plane shift check,
Stealth.
another blink check,
A blink.
Okay.
a blink
Stealth
check.
went down to a 9, but that was still in zone.
Yeah,
And then
let's do our blink
Well,
check.
an 11. I blink out of ethereal plane.
So you're back into the plane material. You
I'm
find
back
you're trying to follow this guy across the town square right now, and when you blink back into the prime material, the plane material, whatever they call that,
The not ethereal
the
plane.
not ethereal plane, which then you go back to the not ethereal plane, and it just goes.
The earthereal.
No. You you when you blink back in, this whatever this thing is, it's invisible again. You can't see it, but you're able to kind of move in between the people of the that are in the town square, and you kind of have a general idea of where this guy was heading. Let's do another. Oh no, that wouldn't work.
Well, it's every 6 seconds basically, because it's every turn. I blink.
Okay, let's do another blink and another stealth check then.
Okay, so blink.
Another snack.
A snack. Okay, so
Oh no, do
that's
blink then snack.
okay. So blink. 11. So I blink back, and then a snack would be a 21.
Okay, so you're able to be back on the snacky path on the ethereal plane
Snacky
again.
ethereal plane.
And you're able to pick up his trail again. You're able to see like this shifting, shadowy figure.
I just picture there's like this one kid in the crowd, because kids always have the most perception. It's just
Mhm.
like something blinked into existence and then it went away. And
Mhm.
it's just like, ah.
Like about to eat something, like about to eat one of the treats from
Yeah. It falls on
from
the ground.
Frug's cart. And it's kind of like it falls out
Yeah.
as you walk by.
Exactly.
But here's what I would imagine: Drenmai, as it goes by, like quick grabs it
In the ethereal plane.
because it's one of your favorite sugary treats.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, do a dex check. I want to see, because I think this would almost be,
Okay.
because I think it's almost like a reflex. Like not even something that Dren.
Jack die. Dex, what's my dex? It's a pretty good roll. Come on, Dex, add some good stuff to me. 18 total.
18. So
18.
I think it'd almost be like a reflex that Dren doesn't even realize is happening. Like,
Mhm. Well, my stomach growled earlier, so it was like, ooh, food.
and it's one of your favorite like donut treats, like some kind of like stacked donut treat on a stick. That
It got
fell off.
maybe like a little bit of dirt on the ground, and that's okay.
not even. I think at 18, I think it's like right as it hits the ground, it's boom. You know, it's like
Oh,
you know.
nice.
So and the kid's like even more like
Well, because it blinked out of existence with
Yeah.
me.
So it's a very Pixar moment of, you know, like, but you're able to pick up on the trail of this thing again, and you see, as it wanders into the Silvered Harrier, and makes its way to the entrance to your headquarters. And walks down into the basement.
I'm glad they need more evidence. 'Cause
Yeah. Well,
we're about to have another corpse for them.
yeah, this is home turf, and I go from like Snek mode to Snek plus Terminator mode. It's like, oh,
Eyes
it's like
wide.
when somebody's like walked into your house.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, you didn't.
What the fuck do you think you're doing? What the fuck do you think you're doing? This is my house. No, it's my house.
Oh, it's now mine.
So I imagine like the goggles just turn red. Goes like Johnny Five red.
Yeah,
Kill Bill's sirens
yeah,
intensify.
Kill Bill.
So you, Thunuk, you hear this thump from upstairs that jars you awake from your lucid nap because it's not a thump you're used to hearing. It sounds like something fell on the floor above.
Not being any of the wiser, Thunuk is going to say, "Hello," and then starts walking up the stairs to see what's going on.
Hmm.
Who's there? Is
And
everything okay?
But it's like Thunuk, who I imagine has a very baritone voice.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
Like kind of like it's a waking up voice, right? It's kind of like that. "Ugh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
who's there? Like no. There's no like aggression implied whatsoever because it's Thunuk.
Mhm.
But it's the morning voice. It's that morning,
Mhm.
like a waking bear, like a bear that just woke up, and it's gonna be very heavy footsteps because Fearbolt,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
There's actually a quick. You hear something run up the steps. It's almost like a shadow flits by, and Drenmai, as you're about to come downstairs, something brushes past you as the door to the basement flies open again and rushes past you.
Do I still see shadowy figure I was following?
Are you in the prime? Are you in the material plane or are you in the ethereal plane?
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Episode of Dragon Ball Z. I'm still in the ethereal plane.
Okay, you see the shadow figure like running out, and it's weird. Like, as it's running, like this cloak behind it is fluttering behind it, but almost like in slow motion. Even though it's moving, like it almost looks like it's running in slow motion, but it's moving at a normal rate, and it rushes back out of the Silvered Harrier.
Where do I see? Did I see like where it came from, like what it's running from?
It ran out of the basement, the entrance to your guys' headquarters, the basement steps.
Okay. Then I'm
Oh, he
again.
grasped.
Then I'm torn again. So it's like, you got
What?
the shadow guy. He left our headquarters. Do I follow it or do I see what it's looking for?
You try to kill it.
Okay, activate like red eye.
Kill mode activated.
Activate. So yeah, I go to attack it, or I
I'm
try.
absolutely not letting. I don't care what this thing is. It could be Santa for all I know.
Well, it ran out of the Silvered Harrier, so you would have to catch up to it again before you could.
I'm gonna do a chase.
Okay, you're gonna do a chase.
I'm gonna do a chase.
Thunuk, you also hear this communique over the walkie-talkie. What is your reaction to this?
Shock and surprise because he is in home office or in the office, and this is a total surprise to him.
Office X.
And he will exit and chase as well, but he will not know what to look for. He'll just run outside and start screaming, "Stop!
So
Come back!"
Drenmai, let's do another. I think this would be your fourth or fifth.
Okay.
Fifth check. This is gonna be your fifth check, so you have a couple more.
Okay. I'm still in the ethereal plane.
Okay, so
Rolling.
you chase after this. So Thunuk, you basically see the door to the Silvered Harrier open and shut, and then it open and shut again. And you hear like the sound of something running away. So you have a vague idea of one,
Ghosts.
doors don't open by themselves usually.
Not
Clearly
general.
ghosts. Poltergeists.
Headquarters is totally haunted.
Ghosts.
A total Shaggy moment.
Yeah.
Or Scooby. It could go either way.
Could go either way. It's
Um,
absolutely true.
And let's see, as a cleric, would Thunuk have some knowledge of the undead?
He would have plenty of knowledge of the undead. In fact, he is charged with cleansing the undead from the forest space. They do not like the undead.
So right now he's probably cataloging like, okay, we've trained for this. We know it. This is what you trained for, Thunuk. This is.
Yeah, he's got his holy symbol. He's like, he's got to rebuke it. I'm going to rebuke it, and then it'll be gone. And yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under control.
And he darts out the door, and he's like, boom. Looks around like, all right,
Perception
where
check.
are you, ghost?
The next totally a Ghostbuster now. I ain't afraid of no ghost
He's-
shit. Dun, dun, dun.
He's in the middle of the street, like, I'm gonna get you, ghost. You can't get away from me.
Let's do a perception check.
Okay. But where did I put my? There it is. Perception. 23.
23.
Wow.
You notice that there are like dust motes leading through the street, large ones, and you can vaguely hear like the thumping of boots, but it's all moving towards Dren's shop, and the door opens and it shuts. And Drenmai, as you're chasing this thing, you see that it runs directly into your shop.
I go from like mad to
Defcon 1.
unreasonable rage.
We are at threat level black.
Yeah,
Threat level midnight.
it's like I'm mad and then it's I'm mad.
Yeah, the mad scale has to be recalibrated now.
Yeah.
Dren thought she was mad. That wasn't mad.
If you've seen The Incredibles, you know the little baby
Mhm.
when he gets in that pissed off mode and then he just goes Super Saiyan fire
He
turns
bursts into flame. Dren burst into flame.
level. Yeah. Dren
Nice.
just okay. Yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. Okay.
One might even say like Donkey Kong.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I follow.
Follow.
I am white on rice.
So you burst in and you see. Let's do another check. Are you in the which plane are we in right now?
I'm still in the plane. Jeebus.
Still in
Okay.
the plane. So you see this thing starting to root around through all of your stuff. Like it's
Nuh-uh.
it's like
Nuh-uh.
looking like it's almost like it's looking for something.
Oh wait, no, it's undead. Don't do that.
That's
Meanwhile, because Hugon knows some shit is up back at home, he's booking it home
Okay.
to the Harrier. He doesn't know that they're in Dren's shop yet, so he's going.
So you
Correctly.
make pretty good time, and you find Thunuk in the street, yelling at ghosts.
I'm gonna get you.
Thunuk, what the hell?
I saw
Exactly.
ghosts.
Okay, where are they?
They went into my shop.
Okay, we're gonna kill us a ghost. You ready?
Yes. Hold on a second. Yes.
All right, and then into Drenmai's shop we go.
Before, like, if I see him rooting around stuff,
Yeah.
and nobody's in my area,
Mhm.
I'm 100% casting lightning bolt.
Okay. So let's do this. You're gonna get your sneak attack. So it'll be
Okay.
the first attack, but let us now roll for initiative, and we're also gonna have
okay.
Thunuk and Hugon roll for initiative
Gotcha,
as well.
gotcha.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 20 again.
All right. So hang on a second. We've got.
Bob.
What? A 3?
Let me see. So we're
On
gonna do.
initiative twice.
Hang on. How do I do this? Why do I always forget initiative? It's dexterity, right?
Yeah.
X
Mhm.
6,
3.
16. Okay. So anyone at 20 to 25? We had Hugon at 20, right?
22.
22.
22, I
Okay.
think.
Thunic. Or anyone else at 20 to 25?
Mm-mm.
15 to 20.
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. This is.
I'm 15 to 20.
Or what are you at? Where are you?
15 squarely.
Oh, squarely at 15. Okay. And then we have Drenmai.
That's a 3.
Okay. So you get your first lightning bolt attack here. We'll let you get off that attack. So please,
Okay.
please explain to me the mechanics of how you are going to lightning bolt.
Yeah, so
this.
I do a mad, and it goes that that
I do a
like,
grump.
I am mad. I fling open door. I zone in on where he is, and it's like feet planted, arms straight to my sides, just like almost power up kind of thing.
Mhm.
Grab staff, lightning, and then anyone else on the outside, there's gonna be glass shattering. There's going to be lightning bolts going because
Oh, yeah.
I mean it's 100 feet long, 5 feet wide.
Oh, I love
just
all of
throwing
this.
Portion of my shop, but I'm mad.
Okay.
You blow out the back wall. Just
Pretty much.
boom.
Okay.
I've planned on expanding anyways.
I need a building permit for this, but since it's not actual construction, I'm covered. I'm getting around it.
If
Okay.
anything, insurance, because this is breaking.
This is a break-in.
Yeah.
It's a break-in. I have insurance.
We
Castle Doctrine
Right.
does apply.
And we call this
Brett
this is what you
knows
call
the
stand your
insurance.
ground.
No, for real,
Exactly.
Castle Doctrine.
Castle Doctrine.
It's Dren knows insurance. This would not be her first claim, so it's gonna be a deck save on that creature.
Okay, a deck save. What is the number that this creature is trying to hit?
That's a 15.
A 15. Yes. Deck
It
save is
saves?
made. It saves.
Okay.
So is
So
it like
I
half
need-
damage at that point?
Yeah, it's a half damage, and I get to do 8d6.
Oh Jesus. Okay. And then hang on a second. There's what's this now? There's
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I rolled a 40, so that's 20 at half damage.
Zap.
I do a buzz.
Is this Okay, so what was the number again?
I cast it at 40, but since he's saved, he only takes half, so 20.
So 20.
And if he's flammable at any, like if he's wearing anything, he's instantly on fire.
Really?
Well, he
Yes.
so when this happens, as the lightning crackles around you and launches out from your staff, just in my head, it's a very Dragon Ball moment of power up and you know,
Yeah,
and
I went super sane because I did a mad.
the
I
hair.
did
But okay, no,
mad.
but the static from the lightning
hair
bolt,
went full troll.
hair is full on up.
It's full main troll thing going on.
Sticking straight up. It is able to actually evade some of this. It's able to almost like wrap around and like kind of like
Okay.
make some of it pass through and beyond it. Guys, outside, you hear this enormous thunder,
Lightning strike.
thunder rumble. The windows completely blow out of the first floor. I mean, just like destroyed, like to the point where you each need to make a dex saving throw.
Okay. That's a natural 19.
Okay.
Nice.
11.
11. Hugon, you're able to get like your hand up, and the glass is able
Shield.
to, yeah, it basically is able to like shield all over, and you're able to shield yourself from it. Thunic, you take 1 point of
Ow.
glass damage. Of I guess that would be piercing damage. Of
It like clips his ear.
yeah,
Huh.
it's like yeah, it just gets you in the ear a little bit, because you're able to like your reaction is as well, but it's you're a much bigger target.
Are
You know.
there any guards around?
Perception check.
I also imagine Thunuk being a giant, most of his skin is what the average person would consider a callus.
Mhm.
So whatever damage he took
It's
is for the bouncing.
fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have like a little piece of glass shard like in your elbow. It's like
That's a 15.
15. You do see two guards people.
I point at them and I say, clear the street, keep everyone indoors, make a perimeter. Go.
They salute and they immediately snap into action.
Friend did mad. Go away.
So now we are now in initiative.
Initiative.
Hugon, you are at the top of the initiative order here.
Okay, so Hugon does not know this thing is invisible.
Truth.
So he's got his mask on.
Mhm.
Delotha is on. So he just goes. Actually, he'll go in through a window. He will leap in through a window
Athletics
because
check.
it's quicker than the door.
Athletics check.
That's a 19.
Okay, you're able to successfully breach this window. This is something you've trained for. You've seen it where they have like the mock window set up, and there's actually a technique to actually going
Go.
through. So that way, it's not jump through, catch your foot, and fall face first into it.
Yeah.
So you're able to get through, and what you actually see is this black-robed, 7-foot tall figure, smoke rising from it. It looks like the lightning bolt eliminated whatever was
Then
invisibling it.
attack the shit out of it.
Okay. Then, please, sir, please.
Okay. Now, do I have any kind of conception about what this thing might be?
This would require probably another perception or insight check, whichever you feel would be the most valuable for what you're trying to determine.
Well, let's do insight.
Insight,
That is a 10.
a 10. As best you can tell, dark cloak, it looks like it might be dragonborn. White snout sticking out from underneath.
Okay.
But you do notice it is wearing some kind of like mask over the top portion of its like face, like the eyes, and it kind of comes down around like the jaw area
Mhm.
there, and behind its eyes, where you ordinarily would see the dragonborn's eyes, there's these little pinpricks of like purple.
Does Delotha do anything?
Not that you notice.
Okay. I attack it.
You attack. You make an attack. All right.
I
So
make-
go ahead and
I-
make your attack.
Gonna try to attack the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 16, a 12, and a 26 to hit.
Your first two blows, this creature easily dodges or deflects.
Uh-huh.
The third one, you're able to make contact.
Okay.
Yes.
I am gonna try menacing strike because
Ooh.
I didn't actually use my.
This is true. You did not.
I didn't actually use my stuff,
Yes.
so I can re-roll that because I have great weapon fighting, but I have to take the re-roll. That's much better.
And is there a save involved with this?
Yes, he needs to make a DC 15 will.
So that's a wisdom.
Yes, or will. I'm sorry, wisdom. Yes,
Wisdom
not will.
saving throw, and 15. Yep.
Mhm.
Makes the save.
Okay, well then he takes 13 points of damage
Okay.
from the halberd strike. It's not actually called a halberd, I know. It's a halberd.
It is a well-bred halberd.
It's a thoroughbred halberd.
Thoroughbred halberd. All right. Now it is this creature's turn, and its baleful gaze looks it just locks on Drenmai, and it just says, "We have come for what you owe us, gnome." And it steps
You
into.
hear echoing from the ethereal plane.
And it goes in for it draws this wickedly curved knife that like kind of like
Mm-hmm. Like a
Sway-
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Exactly what we would call a Chris knife.
Mm-hmm.
And it steps in for its attacks, or excuse me, it disappears into the shadow
Damn it.
and immediately reappears next to where you are, Dren. And it makes the first stabby stab. Does a 22 hit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm guessing a 23 would hit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it comes around so it attacks you with this knife like twice, and then it comes around with its fists and attacks again here. And yeah, those two hit as well. So we're gonna have to do some damage here.
Okay.
Do I have
Jeez,
enough of
damn.
these things?
Supposed to
Three.
be pinky up, Gideon.
Pinky up.
Not
There.
bing, bing. There we go.
All right. So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does 17 points of damage.
Okay.
Yes, it does that.
Okay.
Yes.
I have an ouch.
You have an owie. Yes. Thunuk, it is your turn.
Dang, does Thunuk replicate what he just saw by hopping through the window? I don't think so, because he's probably not going to think jumping through a window is a good idea for his size.
He probably wouldn't fit.
Especially. But he will go straight for the front door, tear it open, and as he's opening the door, he's holding up his holy symbol, and he's like, "Ghost, bad ghost, get out, get out!"
So let's do the strength. Let's do a strength check on that door first.
And he's trying to. Oh geez, that was. I guess he didn't quite grab the door handles all that well, because that was a 6.
So it's like you grab the door and the door handle slips. It's like, oh crap! So you have to
Or-
open the door.
Or the opposite. Like he was trying to open the door and he destroys the door.
Actually, that's better. Door
he
ripped off the
he
hinges.
tries to pull it and it just goes rip and then just comes completely off the hinge.
Door off the
Oh.
hinges. So now you've got a door in one hand. You've got your holy symbol in the other, and you rush in and you see. What's weird is that Drenmai is still in the or no, if you attack from the ethereal plane, do you immediately snap back into the?
Mm-mm.
No.
That's
If
what
it-
I was gonna ask, because so this creature he's in the ethereal plane then, right?
He's able to attack you somehow when you're in the ethereal plane.
So he's
Okay.
simultaneously in both, it sounds like. Right? Is that what we're going for here? You're
Yeah,
not sure.
because if he's in normal plane, he can't attack me, but if he's in ethereal plane, he can attack me.
Yes.
Okay.
But you see Hugon there. You see like this dark cloaked creature, 7 feet tall, pale, sickly white skin, and it you see blood dripping off of the end of this curved knife.
As he comes to the door and sees all this, door in hand, he's like, "You're not a ghost." Cast Grasping Vine
Ooh.
to entangle this individual in place.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm trying to see if there's a. Okay, so it's an attack versus a Dex 15 save.
Okay. So I need to do an attack, Dex 15.
Yeah, I'm attacking, and it is a. I have to be. Wait, hold on. Tax save Dex 15 is.
Mhm.
I don't roll anything. I
No,
guess.
no. This is where this creature makes his dex save. So as the grasping vines come up, he like almost deftly is like stepping on each vine as they come out and like doing like a crouching tiger, hidden dragon, like stepping around it, like able to dodge and get out
He
of the
does
way.
a bunny hop.
And then you think about grasping vine as it's a bonus action. So he's going to slam the door into this dude.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just a straight-on strength check there, my friend.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. He's able to, as you go in for this check, he's able to sidestep out of the way and kind of push you right past him.
Wait.
You missed.
Damn. Okay. That sucks.
It's all right.
Drenmai.
I only hit him on a 26, man. So
I actually didn't hear the number, so.
Drenmai.
If he avoided me, I think I'm still in like enraged.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't imagine being angry and being stabbed is going to improve your angry disposition.
I feel as if that you are correct. I don't think that that's an ameliorating circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. If I cast this at this level, I go like, okay, maybe lightning didn't work, so we're gonna go straight up for Scorching Ray,
Oh, God.
and I'm gonna do 3 bolts of fire at him,
God, yes.
and so that's a ranged spell attack.
I feel comfortable in that. If we unload on this guy,
Mm-hmm.
we might win.
Yeah.
We might win. So I am comfortable throwing everything I can at this asshole.
So is a Scorching
Look-
Ray just a straight-up, like, attack roll?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
So it's a 24 to hit.
24 does actually hit.
Woo!
Okay.
Nice.
So I get, how many do I get? Let's see, above second. So I get 4 of these. That's 21 damage.
21 damage
Wow. Nice.
Fire.
of
It's
fire
just-
damage.
There's no save for that, is there?
No, because
Ooh.
it's just a spell attack, a spell range attack. So
Okay.
yeah.
So you're able to, you're able to like launch just like 3 of these, and let's get another.
It goes from lightning to like everything's yellow to everything's red. And
Drenmai, let's also do another blink check here.
Oh yeah.
It's like a
I'm
satanic
feeling
disco
through
ball
blink.
going off.
Range. I'm still in the. I was a 15. I'm still
Okay.
theory.
So Dren's attacks are appearing as if from nowhere.
Yeah, from
It's like,
absolute.
just out of
bodies
nowhere,
of
just
flame.
boom, 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 like these 4 bolts come flying out of nowhere and plow into this creature. And Hugon, we are now back up to you.
Oh, it's time to chew and chew and chew, as Jerry is fond of saying.
Yeah, do that true damage.
All right. I'm gonna do a lot of attacks. So,
Oh,
and I'm gonna try to menace him again as
Okay.
well. So, that is a. Oh, I have advantage because he's fighting Drin in melee right now.
Ah, okay.
So, I take does a 19 hit?
No.
Okay, so this is the first roll that I need to re-roll. Does a 27 hit?
A 27 does hit.
Okay, and this is the second attack that I need to roll because I guarantee a 13 does not hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna re-roll this one. Does a 26 hit?
A 26 does hit.
Okay, so that's 2 attacks. Third attack. That's an 18, so that doesn't hit. So I re-roll because of advantage. That doesn't miss. So the blunt end misses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to roll all my damage for this, and then I'm going to action surge. So I just want to get this all away.
Action surge.
Yes. So I'm going to menace him because I hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's 31 damage.
Okay.
10 plus 5, 4 plus 5, and then 7.
Okay.
And then now I'm going to action surge and try to hit him 2 more times
Uh-huh.
with advantage. See, this is the only reason we won that werewolf fight so easily, is because you full Nelsoned the werewolf. And like I was just I'm gonna keep re-rolling and I'm just gonna
It
carve you up.
slices, it dices, it makes French fries.
It never misses. That is does a 21 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to re-roll that one, and a 26 already hits. I know that.
Mhm.
So that is. Oh, he needs to save DC 15 will.
Yep. He makes that save.
Saves. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna menace attack again, and this is my third superiority die that I'm using.
Okay.
Let's see here. It's 11. That's 10. So that's 21 plus 2. It's 20. So 23. So 54 total damage over the course of 4 attacks.
Okay. All right. So you're able to get some licks in there.
I
as
would
you-
say so. I
Um,
would say some licks happened.
But even as like your halberd is making these pierces and slashes into his body, he almost seems to shrug them off. Like, not that the injury didn't happen, but it's more like there's like almost no reaction from him.
Mhm.
I do need you, however, Hugon, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. So, okay. That is a 15.
You suddenly feel very compelled
Oh, no.
to leave the battle and walk out towards the bridge that leads over the river in Pinedale.
Okay.
And you find yourself not disengaging like your weapons or anything like that, but you find yourself just walking like
Okay.
I need, like you feel this
Beginning to walk, yeah.
this overwhelming urge to walk there.
Did he cast a spell?
You don't know.
Oh.
You just feel this.
Well, I mean, I'm
Mhm.
asking because does Dren get a reaction to it?
Dren does not get a reaction to this.
Okay, cool.
No.
So I'm walking away.
Yes. Now
Very
Dren's
angry
really
about walking away.
confused.
it is this creature's turn. Dren, I need you to make either a contested strength or dexterity check, whichever one you feel would be the most likely.
Strength or dex doesn't matter. They're both the same. That's gonna be a 7.
Okay. This creature, whatever it is, reaches through you through the ethereal plane and grabs onto your lantern
I don't like him.
and wrenches it out of your grip.
I really don't like him, and I spit on him more.
Extra spitting.
and
That's full loogie.
and finally says, "Finally, thank you, Tinker, for giving us what we paid for."
Oh, I'm mad.
And disappears into the shadow.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it.
Like, well, where is it?
I don't know. If it disappeared, I can't see it,
It's
and I hate it.
And as it grabs and wrenches it away, you're suddenly not able to see it in the ethereal plane anymore,
Mm.
and it steps away. Thunuk, you see this thing grab Dren's, like it sort of reaches into like nowhere, and the hand kind of like phases for a second, like it almost like it like appears to be in almost 3 different positions at the exact same time, like kind of like fuzzing, like vibrating almost. And then as it rips away, you see it has Dren's lantern in its claw, and you hear him say the aforementioned line, and then it basically takes a step back and falls into shadow and disappears outside out of your ability to see.
It was a ghost. I'm trying to figure out how he would react to something that interacts with shadow like this. Wait, so it's like he stepped into a shadow and like and sunk into it, or became part of the shadow,
Just like
or
disappeared into it.
disappeared into it. Okay. This can't work, but I'm gonna try it.
Don't say it can't work.
That's what you said last time when you asked for
Just-
a moment of clarity. So
Just do it, and we'll see what happens.
Zone of Truth.
Oh,
Let me hit the cast button real quick.
okay.
And he's going to shout at. He's just going to shout at the shadow person thing and demand that it show itself. Where are you? Who are you? Tell me.
what's the range on that spell?
Magical zone guards against deception with a 15-foot radius sphere. So effectively, the entire interior of the building.
The only response you hear to that question comes from Dren. Who are you, and show yourself. Dren, you feel
I say, Drenmai, damn it! And I blink out of existence. Blink back.
you feel compelled to answer these questions, Dren.
I'm super mad when I say Drenmai.
Like almost, is there a full name?
It'd be like, damn it, fuck. Do I have? Wait, what was this very specific question? Who are you?
Okay, who are you, and
Where are you?
where are you?
Okay, so he didn't ask for my full name. Good.
No.
So I just be like, Drenmai. Damn it. What?
I'm right here.
Here. And then it's like blink into existence, or on this plane.
Am I still compelled?
Hugon, you are still compelled, and as you approach the bridge, there is a peal of thunder from the sky, and dark storm clouds, like the squall, just sort of forms over Pinedale. You can hear thunder. As you're walking, you see some of the folks are like sticking their head out, like the windows, like what's going on here?
One point of clarification:
Yes.
because I am compelled to go to the bridge does
Yeah.
not mean I cannot do other things, right?
You feel like you just feel an overwhelming need to get to the bridge.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that I am blind to everything else.
No,
right?
no. You're not blind. You're still of your own mind. You're not like your
Okay.
mind has not been stolen.
So
Other than the
as
fact
he's-
that your locomotion appears to have been.
Right, and he
Dragooned.
would he obviously did not want to walk away from that fight.
Mhm.
So he knows that something's gone on,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's not too much of a stretch.
Correct. Yes.
He looks at the guards as he leaves the door and goes, I'm under some kind of control. I'm going to the bridge. Keep everyone away from me.
And yes, sir. Mr.
And
Hall.
then obviously he cannot stop walking, but he puts on the speaker and goes, Thunik and Drenmai, I am being controlled. I am going to the bridge. Meet me there.
I want to do like a quick scan before I leave.
Okay.
Like a hard look. This is my shop and everything, so I know every nook and
Mhm.
cranny and everything. So, nook.
Every nook,
So
It's a
I
nuke.
want
Cranny.
like super scan of my shop because
every bolt.
it's like no, it's my lantern, so it's I do a look.
You do a look. Wait,
Let's see. What's my investigation? Okay. 14. I do a math.
and what is it exact? You're just looking to see if anything else is missing.
I'm looking to see if he's there or if there's remnants or if I have any indication on like what to go off of, or I obviously know who is behind it, but I kind of want to know where it
Mhm.
may have gone or just any like indication of that.
Um.
How it disappeared essentially.
So, as best you can tell, this is you've seen this ability called Shadow Step before. And
Okay.
you think that's pretty much what happened, and it just was able to go to some other shadow that it was able to see.
Okay.
And as you look around, you're able to see that with your windows blown out, there's a lot more shadow that it could have stepped into.
Okay.
Hugon, as you approach the bridge, the storm is continuing to kind of brew. No real rain is following. It's just more like this thunder and lightning. It's like that heat lightning that's just sort of in the sky. You're not seeing any strikes anywhere.
Right.
Now, this part of the river is rather wide. You would not be able to ford across it. It has been able from time to time been able to take smaller boats for the purpose of trade. So it is also built high enough for these smaller boats to be able to pass underneath. It is mostly timber. It's got stone footings that are sitting in the river, and then it's these thick timbers. It's a very well-made bridge. This is not a rickety bridge. It's very solid, wide enough for 2 carts to comfortably pass side by side.
Right, of course.
And as you near the peak, you see another figure in a black cloak. And you see, as you approach, it turns, and it's not the same figure you were just fighting. This appears to be more human in nature. And the hood comes down, and you see the familiar mask with these pinpricks of red light in them. And this creature, whatever the entity is, takes the mask off. And beneath the mask, you see the grizzled, long gray beard, grizzled gray hair flowing, very sturdy stature of Marcus Valander. And he says to you, "You look good, boy. Look like your daddy."
Are you fucking responsible for this?
We got a lot to talk about.
You better have a lot of interesting things to say, or it's not going to be a talk.
Hush, boy. Listen more. And that's where we're going to end this week's game.
You don't get to talk to Marcus.
This week.
The funny thing is, like, Marcus would be like 140.
Yeah, he's got to be super old.
So
Oh, wait,
he's
hold
like
on.
probably some kind of lich,
Yeah.
which is a problem.
Or he eats fiber. Lots of fiber.
Lots of
Lots-
carrots.
Lots
Lots of
of
fiber.
protein, clean, healthy living.
Okay, clean living, you know,
Thanks.
Salt bath every
Yep.
day.
every day.
Okay.
You know,
Salt scour.
shot of whiskey just to keep things moving.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to you got because you can't give up on the things you love in life, because that's, you know, then are you really living at that point?
Exactly.
But we will answer these questions. What will become of Dren's lantern? Did Thunuk ever get the map fixed? Who is this Marcus Valander character? And will Eno wake up refreshed and feeling ready to take on the world?
Edson,
hope
what the
so.
fuck happened?
We'll answer all of these questions and more, in addition to giving some cool stuff away to you, our viewers, next week. So we're going to take another brief break, and then we're going to come back with some table talk. We will discuss old business, new business, and things of that nature. And then we will let you all go and do the things that you do on Sunday evenings. But we are going to take a brief break, and we will be back right after this.
Bye.
You look so stressed out.
And we're back. We told you it'd be the briefest of breaks.
That was so brief that I haven't gotten over the PTSD that I'm gonna have over my lantern.
Well, let us start favorite moments of the game. Roz.
Silence.
Okay.
Gotta say, man, I'm not on board with the silent treatment, dude.
This mini is now so true because it's lantern. Ew, me.
Blind Cleric. Gid Reese.
I really liked the sort of dueling of the conscience moment
Yes.
with Dren.
I like the choice of what represents what.
Yeah, it's gonna be a me versus a Hugon. Because I figured the most opposite person to like inner conscience is going to be Hugon.
Yes, it's
Probably.
it's chaos versus order, right? It's
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
it's not good and evil. It's
No, it's just chaos and order. So it's like
do
no,
or no
do
do.
all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Do the thing that I want. Do the thing that everybody else wants. Yeah, but that was fun as hell.
It was probably the most positive and constructive PvP you could possibly have. in a
Entirely
game.
possible.
pretty much, and it was all self-inflicted.
Yeah, it was all stuff.
Which I think is funny. Like I picture it's all going on in like the brain, so it's just like, oh,
But in my head, if this were to ever be like on a television show, right? Netflix, if you're listening, we're absolutely willing to option our show to a Netflix series. Amazon, same deal.
Wait, I'm not sure we're technically allowed to do that, seeing as how
We
are.
believe me, if Netflix came to us, we could easily go to Penny Arcade and say, "Hey guys, we got this thing." Because,
Not sure.
huh?
Huh?
Listen, this is the
Huh?
definition of acquisitions. We're doing for them. This is why you franchise. But in my head, it was that it's live action, but here's the cartoon creatures having this fight. It's
pretty much. Oh, it's little chibi versions. Like
Mhm.
I've already pictured what I look and Hugon looks in chibi version, and like headcanon, that's what
or the
happens.
Funko versions, right?
Exactly.
Viking Goat Prime.
uh,
As we start to delve into more of these alternate universes, I think we do need to start to
oh,
it
no,
is
there's Primes.
Prime.
I actually, it was the I'm showing up and I'm telling you what for, and you should listen to me. Hugon moment there.
Oh, the
with city.
proposal.
Yeah, it wasn't even a proposal. Honestly, it sounded more like, "This is what I'm going to do. You're going to pay me to do it."
I was trying very carefully to make sure that like I was not giving them orders, but also saying like
Firm
here
suggestions.
is- Here's the, here's what it is.
Even if you're not like giving them orders, it's largely an ultimatum based upon their continued survival as a town and persons because of werewolves. So do the thing.
Well, he's got a proposal too. Did you not hear anything? Guys?
Did you not know the
About-
whole evil guy?
You hear the evil and werewolves and Noel's part, and the fact that he's responsible for this.
And I
you
hate
want-
his stupid face.
Well, that's a personal matter, but also like,
That smells like farts.
well, we want business. Well, like, what do you
Smells
want to
like farts.
live?
Like even his friends don't like him.
Nope.
Friends? What friends? He doesn't have
Doesn't have
friends.
friends.
He's a
Employees.
butthole.
Drenmai. Dragon.
I think that was one of my favorite parts is watching Hugon position himself into a point of power, because it's just like it's just like, no, I'm going to take this situation, I'm also going to position it so that way I can get more shit done. And it was just really cool to watch that like, no, you want help, well, I'm also going to need this. And it was fun to
Well,
watch.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like I'm already contractually obligated to defend the town,
Mhm.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna do that anyway.
exactly. But then
But
it's
if you-
like put yourself in a position where it's like, no, I get a little bit more because
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, I need this as kind of like leverage point.
Incentivize my continued employment here.
Mhm.
Well,
Exactly.
yes, definitely incentivize my continued employment, but also give yourselves an out by appointing me as a legal government official that you
Mhm.
can decide to later on fire if you are not satisfied with my
Mhm.
services.
Yeah, I thought like it just like
If
On
Zedram
a-
Kai had not been in the town, I was going to have you burn down his mansion.
yeah.
Listen,
would-
it's still on the table.
Majestic.
Not,
like I
not
was literally
eliminated.
going to be like, if he's not in Pinedale right now, we're going to burn everything that he owns to the ground.
We call that gnomish lightning. Oops.
Mm.
Didn't know what happened here. Oh, we still
But
just
he
keep
was
I
in
had-
town.
I tripped and set everything on fire. It happens.
Listen,
But the
bolts
interesting
fall out
thing,
of doors, mansions burn down. It's a cruel and unpleasant world.
the interesting thing here is that because this robbery and attack happened as like the day I had this conversation, I can go straight back to them and be like, what the fuck? Like, you wanted more evidence. I mean, Dren just suffered a break-in with the person who was consorting and, the conspirator of Zedram Kai. So
There's a problem there. We don't have evidence.
she's missing a lantern.
but
Yeah.
did
The lack
Zedram
of-
Kai- but
And
you had
that's
to
going to
connect
be
it
my
Zedram Kai.
whole problem.
Well, she
Because-
observed Zedram Kai speaking to this thing, but that doesn't that's a
Ah.
testimony. That's not necessarily evidence.
Yeah, it's not evidence, but I do have testimony, and that's going to be like my personal thing, because the whole thing I built around Dren is that because she has this wild magic, is that's the whole reason that we went that I went for the lantern, because it's like a focus point for power. So now it's gonna be like, well, if I have that gone, technically I still have the magic abilities, but
But now we're
Bad
getting
things
to
are
like
go
Bad things are going to happen.
wrong. Yeah, is it gonna go wrong? Am I just gonna like I cast fireball, it goes everywhere, you know?
yeah, now it's becoming like Avatar state, right?
Yeah. like
Yeah.
you-
When
Problem.
when Aang was having Avatar the first time he went into his Avatar state, and it was
Yeah.
like there's no governor on this right now. It's
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, because Dren knows this, because she built it for that whole purpose. So it's like, oh, well, should I even try casting stuff? Because I don't know what'll happen. It's like having a wizard without a wand. You don't have the tool to implement, the magic abilities. So
Yeah,
it's-
can you still do it? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it
yes.
hard? Yeah.
Yes.
or is it
Will it go
easier now?
Right. No.
It couldn't
No,
be
no.
easier.
No.
No,
Oh no.
I liked that. It was fun to actually get to unleash a little bit. on
Yeah.
this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most damage I've done to an entity in.
It just happened to be Drenmai's conscience.
Well, no, I actually did more damage to the Dragonborn thing
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
than Drenmai's. Well, okay, I rolled more damage. I don't know if I actually did more damage.
I'm so pleased that I got to show my necromancy finally.
Finally.
It was like
Um,
it's my first little dip of foray into necromancy, because it was all
Dippy
with
doo.
the showing like when we were in Otherland, and it's like, oh, don't do this or I will kill your whole family. Like seeing that little bit of dark side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I wanted to start putting some of this necromancy stuff in
Manifest.
Ren, and I think Blight is really fun because it's literally just sucking the life
Mhm.
out of somebody with Blight.
For my favorite moment, honestly, and I always know I have multiple ones, but it's because I definitely enjoyed Hugon's proposal, as it were, and it's given me an idea for a future game that we're gonna have with this. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. I like that you actually that there was the ability for us to do the PvP thing because it made sense
Mhm.
in the context. So that was just a fun little
Oh,
spur
yeah.
of the moment thing. I had no intention of us doing a skill challenge trying to get the map table to work, and I thought that was there just plays. It's so much fun to play with these new things. So,
Picturing the Nook with a little pencil just
so there's definitely gonna be some.
so good.
I think there's gonna be a lot of fun with that. But I think the most fun is I think we've developed the concept for a new tabletop game of building out a beautiful map.
Pretty much.
This is where this is where this awesome rock was, and just I there's something there. I just know there is. But that's yes. So all right, that's old business. Any new business that needs to be discussed?
Well, we need to talk about next week. Is it next week? It's next week, right?
Yes, it is next week, the 14th.
Okay. Let's talk about next week.
Let us talk about next week. Is there something happening next week?
Should we follow along with AI culture and Bwomps will give away prizes?
I think so.
I
That seems
like
appropriate.
that. I like it.
Okay.
Okay. So next
Okay.
week it'll be on the Bwomp.
It'll be on the Bwomps.
Of course.
We'll do it.
If at the end of the game it just so happens that there were no Bwomps, we will have a
Yeah.
we will have some kind of contingency plan in effect to give away the things because the things are meant to be given
We
away.
had quite a lot of Bwomps today. I was
Yes.
surprised.
Let's hope you didn't blow through all your Bwomps.
we did use them all this week, not next week.
Although the goat is due for some.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to punish your dice.
Mm-hmm. Shame.
Shame the dice in some way.
Yeah.
Get them.
Ding ding.
Maybe you need to have them run some drills this week. You know, just to.
Well, no, I think Sanook needs to bless them. Like go out into nature and bless them.
Rub some dirt on them.
Yeah, roll them around in the dirt.
Hide them in a
Put some-
tree for a little bit.
Yeah, they need some sun.
Cleanse them in a stream somewhere.
Exactly.
Hit the 4. It has to be the 4 element, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And for the fire, into the oven it goes.
Into
Into the oven.
as discussed earlier in today's stream, where we absolutely do not advocate cheating.
No, don't cheat.
If I do it right, the air bubble will be somewhere roughly in the middle. Probably
Mhm.
not, but I'll
No,
try.
that's not the way it works. I promise. Way
yes.
too much time with dice.
So we will have things to be given away. And so if during the week, if there's other folks who just would like some, I'm not going to tell you that you should do it for exposure, because I know that freelancers can die of exposure. But if you do have something you would just like to give away, we'd be glad to give it away for you and actually help, spread the word and tweet about you and things like that. But by no means feel obligated. Any other new business?
Let's see. What
Are we-
month are we in?
We are in July.
Okay.
If we have any recommendations as well, recommendations are also accepted. We had some good recommendations last week.
We did.
I'm trying to think. God, next month's freaking West.
Mm.
Isn't
Is
it?
it really?
August is West,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
and
So that'll be
then,
coming up.
and then
Have to get plane tickets and accommodations.
Wait, are you coming?
I managed to get in under the wire on the passes, and I have a spare pass. I just don't know what to do with it. But yeah, I think I'm coming.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
It'll be red eyes all the way around, but I think I'm coming.
We don't sleep much during PAX anyway.
and then
True.
PAX Australia is
October.
October, and then Unplugged.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
So in
done.
other words, 4 months of death for the Penny Arcade crew.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, August, September is West. October is Australia. December is Philly.
January is
South,
South.
is January South, and then East generally falls March to
April-ish. Yeah,
April.
March. Yeah. Oof.
We don't
Half the
count
year?
PAX Dev because
in the Seattle area. Other half of the year, all over the goddamn place.
Not anywhere near Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor
Oh.
Ryan.
and Ryan's been stuck on a plane.
Yeah,
What?
forever.
No joke, for like 2 days.
Yeah, he's been back and forth on planes for 2 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he finally made it to Texas. He's finally at his at the event in Texas. So, but yeah, there's like tornado warnings, storm warnings. It was just,
Poor Ryan.
yeah, he's having a rough go right now. So,
I
But-
think for the giveaways that I will definitely have a dice set. I will have a pair of the Shadow Council dice. I didn't bring them up. I should have brought them up. Do I have any up here? Hold on. Wait for it. So I'll have a pair of
A
the Shadow
pre-chewed carrot.
Council. Pre-chewed carrot.
a carrot
So it'll
that's only
have
had one
this.
bite.
I updated.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Crap.
Hmm.
Focus.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks good. That's about as focused as it's going to get.
I mean, I can tell
Maybe-
exactly what it
Do-
looks.
well, wait. Does it actually exist in this reality? Maybe that's why it's not in focus. Maybe that's just how the dice looks.
Black will work better.
no,
Okay.
it doesn't, but it still looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I updated the numbering system. It's actually fun. I found an artist that did a font where the numbers are made up of skulls.
Mm.
Ooh.
So it looks really cool. So I'll have a pair of those. I'll have a Shadow
Right.
Council dice bag.
Mm-hmm.
And should things work out, I might have like a Team X type
Ooh.
bag and dice set
Very
if,
cool.
if I can get the logo worked out in time.
Now, does one person get all of that, or do we disseminate objects?
No, I'll disseminate. That way,
Okay.
if we like
Spread the
roll
wealth.
really well and we have multiple 20s like we did today, then I can
Spread the wealth.
That is only nice and
I
fair.
could toss in a drawing courtier pin. I still have some of these.
The DNC pin from
pins
DNC
from last
2.
year.
Yeah.
DNC 2. DNC.
So we could
3
add
this
those
year.
in as some extra stuff. I
Mhm.
kind of want to do patches. I want to Team X patch. This is all like personal thing. 'Cause I
What-
want it. So I might
What would
just
I
do
want?
more.
Well, I'll just make an extra one and we'll give that away too.
So yeah, There will be stuff. I'll make sure that there's enough stuff on hand
Lots of things.
to give away.
Oh, excuse
So, yeah.
me. Oh, any
tired.
other? A little bit. Any other announcements? Recommended. What are we playing? Are we still in Hearts of
Still playing Valiant Hearts.
Valiant Hearts?
How's that going?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's so confusing. It's still so confusing, the whole juxtaposition of like the horrors of World War One and learning about them in like an edutainment fashion while
Mhm.
playing a really fun puzzle game.
Hmm.
There is no moon logic when it comes to these puzzles. It's like you want to sneak past the guard dog's hungry. Go find some food for the guard dog. The guy who's in charge of the food wants a pair of suspenders because his pants keep falling down. Go find some pair of suspenders. The guy who has a pair of suspenders is sick. He wants a first aid kit. Go get a first aid kit. Ba 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 ba. So you have to solve all these
I
problems.
love that.
And invariably, the very first thing you can solve problem-wise is usually like turn the pipes in the correct order so that water gets from point A to point B, or something like that.
That I love games like that.
And
Are you gonna do a character? Are you gonna do your mini?
actually, I have my mini already created. I'm just gonna so I don't have to do anything with it. They do now have chainmail. I'm tempted to give him chainmail instead of a shirt because he has a peasant shirt, is what they call it.
Mhm.
Would Sanuk have chainmail?
He does have chainmail. He has
Okay.
chainmail made up of differently colored.
Whatever
Other
shit he found
books
laying
for it.
around.
Yeah, so it looks like he's wearing like a season's worth of leaves, basically. Like it's
Oh, cool.
colors and stuff. So it looks like a tree in fall or summer, depending on what angle you're looking at him in.
Oh, so it actually it's like is it got that like that pearlescent thing? Like depending on what angle you look at it, it's.
Well, I think it's
green.
more like it's just layered.
Oh, okay.
Like he's got a section that's green, and he's got the golds and browns and stuff like that. And
That's so cool. We need a Huron mini too.
I was not pleased with the mini options for.
They
updated them
just
recently.
added a whole bunch of stuff.
I'll have
so
to take a look at it.
It's
So
an
try it
insane
again.
amount of. But also, they allowed you to change the figurines posing.
yeah,
It's
I
not just
angled, I
individual
angled
poses.
everything from like the direction of my hair on the back to like
You do
pivoting.
that?
Yeah,
That's
it
nuts.
gave you angles for literally because I was like, well, I don't quite like how like my smile is because I wanted Dren to have kind of like mischievous smirk, and so you could literally change everything. I changed the
That's
angle
an
of the hair.
amazing level of detail.
It's super. I mean, it's super small, but
And are
'Cause I'm a
they just
small
3D printing it then? I guess.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's very
it's
cool.
all 3D printed. But because you can input every possible little angle now,
Mm-hmm.
it was pretty awesome, and they added.
I'll
a
have
whole
to
bunch
take a
of
look
stuff.
again. That looks pretty neat.
I'm
It
tempted
was
to get
fun.
2 made because you can get it in various plastics, but also
Yeah.
very shiny bronze.
Mm.
I was tempted by the bronze, but I was like, because I want to change. I want to put the lantern on, and then the dragon that I have, he's just a normal organic one, and I want to change him to a mechanical one. I have to sculpt onto him, so I couldn't do the bronze.
So kit bashing.
Yeah, because I'm like casting bronze is a lot more difficult than casting plastic, so I'm gonna sit there and go in with his detail. So
Okay.
yeah, I went.
Yeah,
I
I'll
went to
check out
upgrade it.
Hero Forge again. Actually, my 40K miniatures should be here this coming week.
Mm.
So I'm gonna
Oh,
probably
no.
be. I don't know. I don't have a rig that I can video whilst I paint. I don't have the infrastructure here.
Yeah.
Point
I'll
camera
probably-
down.
No, I'm not painting on my computer desk. I'm not doing. I'm not getting cyanoacrylate and paint on my. I'll do it on my work desk behind me. I'll
Oh, you
clear
just need another
everything off.
webcam. Just get another webcam.
But I don't have a computer over there.
Just,
My
well,
computer is
run a
on the
run a
opposite-
cord.
Really long USB cord.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's what I
No.
did.
That sounds like a bad idea. Because knowing me, I'll hit it and rip it out of either the computer or the desk.
Listen, that's it's gonna be that's what we call entertainment right there.
And can we all just applaud that a certainly named plant is still alive?
Actually, I'm not super happy. I think
Oh no.
Rambo Jr. died.
Oh no.
Kill Junior?
Well, I don't know. His root cluster vanished. There's nothing in there holding him in the pot, but like he's still alive, so I don't know what the hell is going on.
Okay.
He's
Um,
moving into his next form.
the big guy's very solidly into his.
He's evolving into his next form. That's
Yeah, Rambo Prime is
Primed looks healthy.
Prime is quite large. He a big boy.
Junior Spawn is
Well, a couple of his leaves died, so I plucked them out, and then I can't figure out how on earth because it looks like he's not had a root cluster down there for a long time. So I am not sure how it's still alive. Like I watered it like a couple of days ago, and he looks okay.
You know, I had a problem like that with the plant that my parents gave me, and it was great for like years, and then one day, all the leaves basically decided that they wanted to come right out of the pot. And
Yeah.
there's
nothing there grabbing it. He's literally just sitting in the dirt. I'm not sure if maybe it's part of the plant, but I know they reproduce very strangely, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there.
This whole life cycle is just. I don't even want to think about it.
Well, I'm not a botanist. I don't fucking know.
I'm just proud that it's in existence.
Oh, all right. So, aside from the Rambo update, we know what's happening in late to the game. We've got an idea of the prizes for next week. Any other points of business that we need to address?
Not yet. Nope.
No. Okay.
I don't believe so.
All right. Well, next week's the week. It's
Next week will be fun.
franchise.
I'm going to be surly next week.
Franchise Happiness Day.
Why?
I am on a 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. work shift for the entire
Yeah.
week,
Mm.
starting tomorrow, which I'm
That's-
not super jazzed about. So come
That's
this,
a horrible shit.
and it's a 6-day a week kind of thing right now. So I'm going to have Saturday of it too.
Ugh.
So yeah, I'm not happy.
That's okay. You'll be in
Just-
character.
Oh yeah.
Adjusted to afternoon naps.
I swear to God, I'm going to beat the dog shit out of my undead grandfather in this game if he tests me.
I just picture him like, you're how old? How are you alive?
You shouldn't be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Found some shit down in Skullport, it sounds like.
Mm.
That's so awesome.
Some things happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, we will address all of this in some way, shape, or form next week.
Yes.
all
It'll
right.
be good.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for playing Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for playing at home. We are going to take you down to the end credits, and we will see you guys. Well, you'll see the Viking Goat on Tuesday
Yep.
at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then you'll see the rest of us, including a North American bearded Roz. I don't know, maybe he's
Yes.
not bearded anymore, but we'll be seeing
That would
him.
be wild.
we will be seeing him as well next whatever day that is, Sunday, 4 p.m.
Mhm.
for franchise Happiness Day.
I wonder
Yay!
if I could do this just for fun.
Hmm.
I don't remember if I have this command power, but I want to try and raid Patrick Rothfuss since he's live right now.
No, yeah.
He's doing team fight tactics, so we can send our friends over to him. So
Yes.
let's see. 3, 2, 1, pushing the button. No.
Oh,
Wait, did I type it wrong?
Is there a way? Can I do a raid from here?
Who's doing live?
I'm running the stream.
Patrick Rothfuss. It's not letting me. I typed that horribly wrong. Holy crap.
well,
Yeah.
I've got to run, so I
Okay.
will
Yeah.
well,
I need
I'm
to-
gonna-
y'all next week.
There we go. We're doing it. We're going over
Oh,
to Patrick
yay.
Rothfuss.
There we go. Okay.
Bye, all.
See you guys.
And later.